Okay, good evening and welcome to episode 35 of the Clutch Kick. So this week Greg is away. He's on his way to QR Matsuri. Should be maybe halfway up the coast to Port Macquarie, hopefully. And he's going to spend the night there and then travel the rest of the way tomorrow. So this week, what I was planning to do was to go through some of the vlogs and things on YouTube about Australian drifters. But hang on, just a moment. I've got a echo coming through. Okay, so I set up this green screen. I have YouTube open, but the issue is every time I click on a video, it crashes.
A good driver is aware of what's on the road.
Never mind. Okay, so now I look like a liar. So I've been trying to fight that. So I had all these tabs opened up and they're all crash tabs and now they're all gone. So unfortunately, I'm logged in under... I'm still getting an echo. I must have a window open. So this is the screen that I kept getting, but let's see. I have an echo. Must be this one. Okay. Alright, so initially the idea was to go through some of the vlogs of the Australian drifters. There's a whole bunch of them. So I think we've interviewed a few of the guys, and I was going to show you a couple more that we've come across. So I tried to set it up, but it didn't seem to work. So I'm kind of improvising at the moment. What I need is, I guess, ideas about where to check out. I can sort of go through the ones that I know. We can try and look them up. So initially, I had Troy Lipshinsky's blog or YouTube page or channel, sorry, which is Lippy Motorsport. So we'll just see if this crashes because that's what happened last time. Yep. So it crashed. So this is the issue I was having before. So I can't seem to look up any sort of YouTube videos. So I'm kind of out of ideas about what to do at the moment because I can't look up videos without it crashing. I did try a different browser, but my other browser's too old and I can't seem to download the updates. So I'll have to go back and do it. The other thing is I've got Chrome working, but it's actually my feedback. So if I try and look up other things, then I'm going to have to close that window with something else. So yeah, I'm a bit stuck at the moment. I can show you some videos that I've taken in Japan. I could probably put them up on the screen. I have been doing some commentary about my driving in Japan, but I haven't actually made it public yet, and that's not on this channel. That is on the Team Red Stage channel, which I've slowly been working on. So yeah, I don't know. This weekend, I guess, is QR Matsuri. They've got some guys over from America. I can't remember the other guy's name, but he is known as Chair Slayer. He's in the R32 four-door, I think. I'm not sure which part of America he's from, if he's from Canada or from the States or from somewhere else. So he's over at QR Matsuri. They also brought over Hurt, I think his name is, from Hoonigan. And he seems to be traveling a lot. And I think he actually has another channel besides Hoonigan that he publishes on. So that should bring in a really big crowd to QR, and there's all these other sort of people sort of hyped up because of those people going, and so it looks like it'll be a really cool event. Ty Jeffries, who was on a few weeks ago, I think he's revealed his new style or paint scheme. um, and it looks really cool. It's very shiny. So we'll see if it's actually still shiny after Matsuri. Hopefully Greg could actually get close to him and leave a mark, but I have a feeling Greg will be doing a review of the pits again. Okay. So so the Chesley guy's name is Rob Parsons, I think. Let's see. What could we do? And talk about. There was something on last weekend. It was D1 Lights in Japan. That was at. It's only a few days ago, and I've forgotten. Jeez. I can't remember. No, it's. I can't even remember the competition. Was that at Minami? I think it was actually at Minami. Yeah, it was. So it was at Minami, and at Ibisu, they had Suenaga as a guest judge, Naoto Suenaga. And apparently one of the guys in my team was saying that whenever Suenaga does this sort of thinking look, I do the same look. So that was funny. Yeah. Okay. So another thing I might try and do is I could actually might be able to do a search on another window and then drag it across into view. So I'll just see. The only issue is I won't have any sound. So let's just double check. I'm gonna go with Troy's first again. So we'll see if this crashes. Okay, so you guys should be able to see this, those that are watching via video. If you're listening to this after the fact, then I guess this episode isn't going to do very much for you. So it's probably one of the more visual episodes. So this one is Lippy Motorsport. The guy's name is Troy Lipshinsky. He's from South Australia, drives an R31, and he's been pumping out videos every sort of few days to a week. He's trying to get his YouTube channel going, and hopefully would get more sponsors. So currently he has Penrite as a pretty major sponsor. There's a few other sponsors which I probably won't even bother mentioning because I don't know exactly. And this is actually a lot harder than I thought it would be. So that's one channel to begin with. I've known Troy for a few years. I thought he had an interesting choice with a 31 as a drifting sort of comp car. I do have an R31 as well. I do like them, but I think they have their limitations without sort of a lot of work with the suspension. So to me, an R31 felt quite floppy, and the live rear was good and bad. It was good that the wheels were flat on the road, but it was also didn't sort of handle as well with the trailing arms. You could really feel the car. Well, actually, it could be just my car, but I could feel the car and the diff being sort of a bit disconnected. But Troy's done really well. I know other people have put IRS in the back of it, but there's probably a lot of comps that don't allow that. So anyway, it's cool. He's really good to listen to because other people like me don't really speak very well and fluid or quick enough. And he's quite well spoken. Another person that he's been hanging out with quite a lot is Mitch Doyle from Northern Territory. He's cool, and I kind of wish that he actually made some videos as well. Let's see. Sorry, I'm still getting messages. Wow. Okay. Trying to keep up with these messages is a lot more difficult than I thought, especially without a co-host to sort of keep talking and I can sort of read the messages. So um, okay, I can't keep up with this. So what I might do is I might actually see if there's other guys. Someone suggested that they might jump on as well. So what I can do is I can bring up Skype and we can just have a discussion about something. But I still want to go through quickly some of the other guys. So what I'll do is if you can just hold out for a moment, I'll just see if I can see if some other guys want to jump on. All right. So this other guy is from Queensland. Hang on, just make it a bit cleaner. We'll just have a look for him first. So his name's Jamie Field, I think. He's from Queensland. And so one of my teammates actually found him. I'm not sure how, but he's this guy. So he takes a lot of videos from Archie. I actually saw him when I was at DCA this year, just before I went to Japan. But I didn't actually go and say hello to him because I was sort of across the other side, sorry, in the infield of the track. So this guy has actually been to Japan. He had a series of videos of him in Japan and going to street drifting and sort of checking out a few interesting things. So I think his video output slowed down a little bit since he started. So I'm probably am guessing that it's because of the amount of views that he's been getting. It's not that high, and I know you sort of get demotivated a little bit when you don't get that many views, but you should try and keep going. You just need to find some sort of content to get people hooked. I think doing lots of these Archie things would probably be good because people will get used to it. So they'll go to an Archie day and they'll go home afterwards and then they'll share the video around. Let's see. I'm just going to drag this away just because I'm going to be searching things. I don't know what it's going to come up with. It could be funny, but it also could be the complete wrong thing. Let's see. So, okay, yeah. So another good one is one of my teammates who he's been putting out videos. Kind of regularly, kind of not. So he's been posting on a channel called Conorsev, Conorsev. He's one of the guys that drifts Prelude still in front wheel drive. So I guess you guys might have seen a video recently where there was a rear-wheel drive converted Prelude, so that's not him. So this is completely front-wheel drive, still running the full steering setup in his third gen Prelude. So he puts out a lot of how-to videos and sort of explanations about and reviews about things. He kind of puts out videos for fun, so they could be completely random and they might not make sense. Some of the videos I've seen are less than a minute long, so yeah, it's a bit of different content if you're okay with that. It's not consistent. It's not like a vlog, but it's just a whole mash of whatever he's up to. Okay. Sorry, just checking messages again. All those people listening after the fact. But again, as I said, this is probably more a visual episode at the moment. Just trying to get through some of the YouTube channels that I had an idea of actually going through. Just want to see if I can get through some of my history. No, history. Of course, there's, probably most people have seen Alexi's channel from Noriyaro, but his better channel is actually 333 Boogie. So if you get a chance, check that out. Pretty old, really hope he put some more videos on that. That'll be sort of hinting he should actually go back onto that channel with some other content. But let's see. I've looked up way too many videos. And then other people have looked it up on this channel as well. So give me a moment. There you go. Risky Friends. So this guy, I think, does a lot of driving on driving sims, and some of the other guys in my group of friends, they play drifting sims with this guy. But he's a Queensland guy. I've watched a few of these videos. They're more entertaining. They're not vlogs. They're just sort of driving videos. They're interesting. From memory, he puts up interesting sort of bits or clips rather than having big long driving sessions like, oh, this is the third, which what I normally do is third session or Wakefield Park in August or something. And so he doesn't do that. He sort of clips it down, so it's just the good parts like this. Okay. I'm just trying to remember. Drift Life Oz. So this is a guy that I haven't met yet, but he's been doing lots of videos which are like vlogs. They're kind of like shows though. So he did some in Japan, which I watched, as well as some other things where he does kind of a review on the, what's it called? The drift bit. That was kind of interesting, except the microphone was not very good, so I couldn't really hear him. I think it was like lots of wind noise, and that was the issue. So I'm not too sure if he's actually affiliated with the Drift Life magazine or something in America. But yeah, that's just another channel to probably check out. I probably don't watch enough of these, and I think they're just sort of playing in the background sometimes. So I'm just trying to focus more on the Australian channels. Um, Here's another one, Jacob Peck. This guy is interesting. I met him in Queensland. One of the other guys in my team is a big fan. Um, so he had a JZX, and now he switched back to an 8.6, and he's doing a build updates on those. Yeah, you can see those there. His car stood out quite a bit. Sorry, his JZX stood out quite a bit. So I think he's easily recognised. Along with his sort of long hair, he plays it up a bit. Okay, let's keep going. Just trying to get through this quickly. Oh, this is another one. I'm not quite sure. I kind of half watched this guy's channel, the Fellas Network, and I think these guys are Victorian. I really haven't watched many of their videos at all. You can probably tell because there's none viewed. But yeah, it looks like a pretty well presented channel. View count's pretty good. We did watch some of these videos. I think one was at Winston Matsuri and another one was them doing something on a car. I can't actually remember what, but if you're interested, I guess check that out. Okay, another set of Canberra guys. These guys, the channel's called Lunar Motive. They try and do vlogs. So these guys do vlogs. They go drifting and they go to car shows and they try to do car reviews, driver reviews, or owner reviews, I think. I think they have a good idea of how to video and to create something, but I just sometimes think that they could use some more content from outside Canberra, which is difficult, but it's because Canberra's so small, it's quite limited. So, yeah, I can see that what they're doing is good for the amount of content that's available here. Because I can't even, I try to make videos and I have to stretch them out or even content. And it just gets expensive if you have to travel. Let's see. Suggestions to share. No, I'm trying to share Australian channels. So that was our focus with this channel, was to promote Australian drifting. So this show was for promotion. So hopefully people will come on and we can interview them. They can promote themselves, share the content around, and we'd all sort of help each other to do things. Oh yeah, this guy. This guy ish. He is, yeah. He's pretty out. He doesn't need help from us. So, channel is Sammit, Sammit. I think he's originally from Queensland. He owns Otaku Garage, and he lives in Japan and creates videos about his adventures in Japan. His videos, I think, have become more interesting and better presented recently. I think when he started, it was just like everyone else. They just sort of start and then it was a bit slow, but now he's easy to watch. Okay. We did find some random car channels as well. I don't think they're drifting, but they're import. And there's this guy. Oh, I'll just bring it up anyway. So This channel is called Lachlan Doherty, so I assume that's his name. He has an S15 and he sold it and bought another one or something like that. He's got dry humor, so I kind of laughed, and I'm not really sure of his goal with the videos, but if you have nothing to do, it could be entertaining. It could also be really boring. So I'll leave that one up to you. Okay. Let's see. Let's keep going. Oh, we did find maybe a New Zealand channel. Okay, so we did find a New Zealand channel. It's called Ventura, and I think these guys are young. I don't and they bought a broken down S15, I think, and then they put it back together. Well, they figured out what's wrong with it, and these guys, they were alright to watch. But again, these are New Zealand, so it's pretty close to Australia. I think they had a Honda before that, and anyway, let's see. Okay, so this is where I found some videos from Western Australia. Is that working? Yes, it is. Interesting. Okay, so the channel's called NS Visual. He kind of does vlogs, but I think he's more a photographer, so he takes videos of events and things, and then uploads them as maybe a montage or something. I don't know, a show. It's not really. There was one which is kind of vloggy, but it wasn't. It's more like lots of really cool video, and then he said, "That's my vlog," and it's just like, "Oh, yeah, kind of." But anyway, let's see what else we can find. Oh yeah, actually, that's a good point. There's also, I don't even know what his channel is. Greg Merriman. Greg, so my co-host, he has vlogs which he needs to upload a lot more of. I thought he had vlogs. I thought he had more things, but I guess he doesn't. Anyway, let's just keep looking for some more. No, I think that's all that I've found. There's probably plenty out there. I guess if you are you do have a channel that you want to promote, to share it in our community page group, sorry. So anyway, I'm just going to see if we can connect some other guys in and we can have a chat instead of going through all this visual stuff. So just give me a moment. I'm just going to change screens. All right. Because I need to play with the video a little bit. Okay. So still here. I'm just going to connect in a few guys and we can have a chat. Sorry. Just trying to connect these guys in. Oh, I really should update this to say connecting guest. Let's close that. Okay. Oh no, this is not going to work. Steve is not online. Interesting. So no. Okay. Oh no, that looks weird. Now you can see my green screen. Okay. Alright, let's see if we can call again. Nope, so Steve's not answering me. Unfortunately, I've closed the other screen, so close that. I don't even know what that is. Hello?
Hello.
Yo.
What's going on?
Trying to do a stream, but it's quite difficult.
Alright, have you got visual here?
Don't have your video, no.
That's probably a good thing.
Why? We normally have
No.
video.
No one wants to look at this thing.
Well, I think they do. I think we can run a poll, then everyone will say yes.
Alright, what are we talking about?
I have no idea. I think, hang on. Just going to change that. So, if you're watching, you can see the green screen behind. I don't know. I know eventually we get talking about something, but are we going to try and get Blake on?
Yeah, he's busy doing pretend drifting on a set of Corsa.
Okay.
Yeah. Why is my camera not working for me? I think one of the topics that was thrown around was time attack and the drift challenge and the pool.
Yeah.
Pool.
The pools were
Yeah.
announced, wasn't that? Yeah, I remember that. That was interesting. I've made my picks. I think you know about that, but
Are you going to show them up, or?
me?
Yeah, you to tell people your thoughts.
We can just go through the
find
pool.
that pool actually.
Yeah.
See if I can find it.
Yeah. So, for those that don't know, World Time Attack is running sort of like a World Cup style competition where all the drivers are put into pools and they all have to win their pool to get in the top 8 knockout tournament. Each pool consists of 4 drivers, and you have to battle each driver in the pool. So there's 3 rounds in the pool, and depending on your outcome, so if it's a win, you get 2 points. If it's a draw, you get 1 point. If it's a loss, you get 0. So it should come out with the highest. So if you come out with the highest score, then you'll be the winner of that pool, and you'll progress into top 8. And then it goes from there. So
No, do they battle each other? What, like, do they? So you have one battle against each person in your pool. Is that right?
yes.
Yeah.
And your audio's just gone all quiet.
Oh, I wasn't facing the computer. That's why I'm looking at the pool at the moment. So.
Okay. So
Is that better?
Nah. It's pretty terrible. So yeah, as we mentioned, the pool's announced, and I kind of had some picks for people that would win each pool. So in the first pool, I guess we could just read the names out. Except I actually don't know the full name, so I'm gonna find the other image.
Yeah, I'll share it with you. But are you able to share it up on the screen at the same time? Is that a doable thing on this?
I can actually share it on there. I just have to create another. I'll create another window so it will appear better, I think. I've got my slow internet going, so it's going to be a while.
I just chucked a set of headset in, so I don't know if that's going to make the audio better or not.
You probably haven't selected that headset. You have to do it in Skype, otherwise it'll just keep defaulting to the whatever you're using before.
Well, figure it out. Anyway, did you grab that pool?
No. Oh, where is it? Oh yeah, there it is. Okay, we're gonna try and call Blake in. The add? Oh, add. There we go. Alright, let's call in Blake. Yeah, my internet's so slow.
I'm just. I don't know why it's not.
This stream is gonna be shit.
Well, maybe.
No, it's
Maybe
just shit
not.
because I just don't have enough internet to keep up. Where's your video, Blake?
That work?
Yeah, that worked.
What? I can't see it.
I can see. Oh, you can't see it. He's put his
Oh,
Assetto
yeah.
Corsa
Alright.
screen up.
Okay, I'm gonna have to get off Discord.
Meanwhile, I'm still trying to load the photo.
Wow,
This is
that was
cool.
really confusing because I was talking to the people on Discord and they were listening to me on Discord and on the live stream at the same time. So it just didn't work.
Okay. So it was a delay or something.
I don't know.
Yeah, I'm.
Holy shit, that
being
internet
a bit
connection's
bad at the
way too...
moment.
It's either my connection or yours is too slow.
My NBN, my friend.
No, Blake's. I
Ah.
can't see it. Oh, it's probably mine, actually. I can't see the pool.
Oh, I'm sorry, I'm not Steve Thorne. Screw you guys. They're asking for Steve Thorne instead of Steve Pembroke. And what am I driving? Hopefully, once I finish my uni, and the uni outcome will hopefully pay for more drifting. But that's
Your
a long way
audio's still
away,
terrible,
unfortunately.
Steve.
Yeah, I did lightning.
No, I can't. Alright, I'm gonna give it up with that. Oh, here we go. Alright. I'm just gonna quickly share the pool. So
Oh,
just give me a moment.
Blake's too hard concentrating on his game there.
oh, I've got a lot crappier tires than everybody else. All right.
Oh,
Makes it a little
how
bit
come the
harder.
excuses already? Bloody
Oh,
hell.
I know. I'm all sweating and shit now.
Don't worry, it's not I can't download the video quick enough, so it's very choppy.
Oh, what? Because it goes through your.
Yeah, so I have to
Your internet,
download
does
it
it, or?
through Skype and I have to re-upload it to YouTube.
Oh, you're kidding me! What? Shame you can't just teach me how to do it.
What's that?
Yeah, I got.
Oh, like my
Well,
internet's quite good.
yeah. Well, if I had NBN as scheduled, then I would have had it years ago, but it didn't happen. So anyway,
Where do I find
Anyway.
the camera setting?
sorry.
Where do I find the camera setting in my computer? I'm trying to reset it. I'm looking at the device manager at the moment. Oh, there we go.
All right. If you can see on a really low resolution image that probably will pop up shortly, I've put an image of the. Yeah, you're not going to be able to read that. Of the World Time Attack Drifting Cup pool. So in Pool A is Michael Prosnick, Anthony Billick, Josh Botcher, and Matt Russell. Pool B is... Should we just go through all the pools first? Or do you want to talk about each
Yeah,
pool?
however you want to do it.
We'll go pool by pool, I reckon, because everyone will forget.
Okay, so Pool A. Michael Prosnick, Anthony Billick, Josh Botcher, Matt Russell. So I put my money down on Prosnick.
Oh.
Yeah.
He's probably been doing the most driving of late, I guess, out of all those people. Oh, maybe.
I just saw him at High Tech, I think it was, because he's one of the High Tech guys. I have a feeling. Yeah.
Yep. Oh, down. But I think it's only when he's down south, right?
Is it?
Or did he do the Queensland one as well?
I saw him at Wakefield, and I think I watched him at Winton, and he was driving really well then. So Nick would know. He's #1 fan of Carl's Nick.
Yeah, well, I think last time I saw him drive was at Wakefield, when he did High Tech at Wakefield.
Yeah.
And he came, what, like second or first or something there? Second, I think it was.
Yeah, he was doing quite well. No, I'm pretty sure. I think it was first, because Bo DB'd. Like, double DB'd.
Oh, you're right. I think he did come first. Oh, shit.
From what I've seen a couple of videos of him down in Victoria as well. He's a pretty aggressive driver these days, which is very cool. Who else have we got in there? We got Billick, Botcher, and Russell. Yeah. I know Matt Russell's got a lot of skills. He's real good with the technical stuff, but he didn't have too good of a show on last year. But I don't know if that was just because of mechanical issues and things like that, though.
It's entertaining though.
What, in person or as a driver?
In person and as a driver as well. He's got flair.
Definitely. Yeah.
But
so with like people like Matt Russell or Vassell or whatever, and Josh Botcher, I know Josh Botcher drove in Cash Kings, but apart from that, like those two guys aren't really doing much driving lately, right?
Matt does a fair bit, but just like I don't think he does many comps. I think he does
demos and instructional.
Yeah.
Things.
Oh, where does he instruct at? He's from Tassie, isn't he?
No, he's from
Melbourne.
Melbourne.
He goes over to Japan with Sideways Experience.
Oh,
remember?
Sideways Experience. Oh yeah. He only would have done that once though, right?
Well, that's only been on once, right?
Yeah, well, that's right. I like World Time Attack because all these people who don't haven't been driving much lately,
skills or whatever they're called. Drift.
Look, I think a big thing is going to actually be the what course they decide to run as well. Because the one they use going up onto the main straight is a massive power course. You can do it in a lower powered car, but I mean, with some of the cars and the horsepower and the tyres that they run, especially some of the international cars, if you're not up to spec in power, you're going to struggle, I think.
Potentially. There is that big sail zone going in as well. So if you got the jump going down the straight sort of thing, and then you really sort of let it float in there, I think you can sort of make up for it. But where you do lose it, I agree, is sort of coming onto the main straight at the end there. But I guess it depends how heavily they weight that.
Well, yeah, okay. Well, it really depends on who's in charge
and who's judging. Because when it comes down to it, it's the visual impact of the run. I mean, you may have all it on the entry, and then if someone just blazes it away from you, it's gonna be, I don't know. Depends on how much they communicate that to the crowd and how much they put it into the I guess the driver's briefing to try and. I don't know. I don't know how you. I mean, it also comes down to whether that's the track they're going to use.
You mean the clips? Because I'm pretty sure they're just going to use North Circuit, aren't they? 9, 10, 11, or whatever that set of corners is.
Well, not the old DA layout. I might show my age there.
Yeah, the DA layout. That's 9, 10, 11, or something, isn't it? Or whatever it is.
I don't know.
The last one before the straight.
I'm not sure who is judging, actually. Have they announced it yet? World Time Attack. Hang on, I'll see if I can find it somewhere.
Oh no.
So
Sorry.
am I going to be the only person that sort of puts money down on someone?
Money down.
Yeah.
Oh, look. I'm thinking is if they run in the big horsepower course, I'm gonna lean towards Proz on that one. If they're doing something a bit tighter, it'll be a toss up between Russell and Proz.
Okay.
Really?
What about
See?
Botcha?
Yeah.
Because doesn't Botcha have lots of power?
Well, to be honest with you, I haven't seen too much of his driving, so I guess that's an unfair sort of write-off on him. But
Yeah, but if you said it's power related, then I think Botcha's got a bit of power.
Yeah,
Matt Russell generally is sort of power to weight, so it's low power, but for a light car. And Billick's not bad power, but it's not
he hasn't been too consistent. Yeah. Is he still? It's the GT radial car that Botcha has, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Is he still? Is he still running 800 horsepower? Holy crap!
Yeah, but see, this is the thing. Like, you can be game fit and not game fit. You know, like when was the last time he drove and competed? Apart from Cash Kings, where I think he had car troubles the whole time. Like, you know, I don't know about you guys, but if I don't drive for a little while, you do get a little bit rusty, unless you're playing games non-stop, I guess. But
It really depends on the criteria, I think. So if it's kind of like a showy sort of competition, then it's not really going to matter.
Yeah, then
big smoke and
Yeah.
same course as last year, but different clipping points apparently.
And
different.
Mike's not gonna put money down, is he?
Whoa. Yeah, sure, I will. I'm gonna say Botcha then. Just to be different. We should take cabs, see who wins. So who'd you go? So Pemby went Matt, EG went Foz, and I'll go Botcha. There you go.
There's no Matt in there. Oh no, I went Proz.
Matt Russell.
Unless it's a technical part. Yeah.
No, I went.
I said Russell.
Foz. EG, are you tabulating this? Can we do like a live graphic of?
Oh, Jesus.
Nah, I'm only shitting, yeah. Alright, who's in the next pool?
No, I
Alright,
can
next
do
pool.
this. I can do this.
Just do this. I've seen your
So,
computer skill delays.
Alright, so while EG's tabulating and
No, I'm just gonna make it simple.
This stuff up.
No, I'm just gonna make it simple.
That's alright. I'll go through Pool B while you sort that out. So Pool B, we've got Brad Toohey, Fanger Dan, Aaron DeWar, and Adam Monk.
Who's Adam Monk?
Hang on, let me just have a quick look. I'll see if I can figure it out. I think he must be an international one. I haven't heard of that one. Alright, so he's got a twin turbo V8
WA.
14.
The Newline car? Is it Newline?
Hang on, let me fire up his World Time Attack Challenge. Here we go. It's the Westlake one. It's a white S14 with the big turbos hanging out the bonnet. That's a cool looking car. Oh, they haven't got a bio on them or anything. But yeah, it does look like a Western Australian car.
So my money was actually on Fanger Dan, close, or like really sort of close to Brad Toohey.
I guess Brad Toohey's probably driven there a lot more than Fanger Dan.
I don't know. Like, I don't know if I'm being biased here, but just going off what happened at the Queensland round of high tech, or is that not indicative of people's driving? What do you think?
Oh, I know. Yeah.
Sorry.
Or is that?
I missed that.
I'm just trying to go off what I saw at high tech in Queensland. You know, I don't know if that was just the course or if that's really should be indicative of people's driving or not, but. I don't know. At Queensland was a weird course.
Oh, in the wall.
From memory, Brad went pretty well last
I came
time.
first.
Yeah. No,
Oh,
he
you
come
mean,
first. Was what's his name?
Are you mean talking about
World Time
Attack
Attack, yeah.
last year?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. No, I can't remember. I thought he had car issues in the end.
Oh. Yeah, I think he did.
Fanga Dan's actually driven that course as well.
Yeah.
Look, I'm putting it out there. I reckon Fangadan's got it.
Really?
I just think a combination of his experience, the car, the showiness of the event potentially. I mean, I don't know. We're guessing there, but like I've seen him do some pretty cool stuff in New Zealand lately when I was over there not too long ago, and like he's still getting sort of used to it there. I think if he gets it together, he's sort of going to be one of the higher ones.
Did he bring the
Fangadan's in
Mustang
the
over?
Mustang, is it?
Assume so.
Yeah, rad.
Yeah.
That'll be cool.
That's
Yeah.
That's
And
why I
that thing's
think
got grip. It's got
he'll get some sort of like flare points, if that makes sense.
Yeah, 100%.
'Cause
What's DeWall bringing? Because I remember his car wasn't the most visually
S13?
spectacular.
it'd be the S14, wouldn't it?
Yeah. Like I remember it was just a very plain looking thing last time I saw
Wasn't
it.
it noisy as AF?
Oh yeah, they build
Engine
their own
builders.
engines there.
Yeah.
They know. Yeah.
Okay. So it's just Steve.
Right, next
What are you
call.
putting?
Oh, sorry.
Yeah, what are you putting your money down on?
I might actually go with EG on this one. I'm going to say Fanga Dan as well. Actually.
EG.
So boring.
Blake, I said it.
Ah,
No, we all said it.
EG
Blake
hasn't
as well
told
then.
us yet.
Oh, we all said
No,
it.
I did.
Yeah, there we
No,
go.
because we already spoke about this earlier. Remember?
Oh,
Nah, forget our conversations.
no idea, man.
Yeah,
Yeah.
no, he doesn't place much. Anyway.
No, he just sort of comes on and says, "Oh, we haven't spoken in a while," and then pisses off again. Doesn't pay attention
Who's
to whatever we
this?
say.
Oh, on
Yes,
the
he's
chat.
still not even paying attention. All right,
Yeah.
anyway. Pool
Anyway.
C. All right, Pool
Sorry,
C.
guys.
We got, all right, these must be internationals. We got Jaron Oliver Kroner.
Don't know who that is.
Jack Shanahan,
Yeah,
Ben
no,
Meir,
Jack.
and Brendan Greaves.
Yeah. So 3
So-
out of 4 I know.
Shanahan. What?
Jack's going to be in one of Luke Fink's cars. Which one's he driving?
Convertible?
He's going to be in a Vert.
he?
Oh,
No,
no, he's in the
86,
86, isn't he?
Yeah, and his
Everybody was
brother's in
joking about whether he's
the.
going to actually fit in it.
Yeah.
I guess.
Oh, Oliver Kroner has that V12 Sylvia. I've heard about
Oh,
Haven't heard about
okay.
it.
Well, then Jack Shanahan, the New Zealand guy.
You reckon it's just gonna break down?
No. The car's good. Just
this. And
I feel
Greaves
Jack
is an
Shanahan's
Australian,
better
isn't it?
job.
Greaves is Western Australia or Tasmania or something.
Yeah. WA. Yep.
That's a good trip over from there.
Greaves.
Yeah, WA. He's
Didn't
got an
Greaves
S15.
G1 in Japan.
Yeah, it's-
I think is that right?
All right, so my money on that one.
Come on.
That's a hard one.
How is it?
No.
So no, Ben Mear's been doing quite well recently. I thought I was really impressed with him at DCA.
I think
Yeah, no,
I think Ben I think Ben's car might not bedazzle as much potentially with the current level of power that sort of thing's going with.
What's
Yeah.
he running at the moment?
Oh, it's only like 330 kilowatt or 340 kilowatt.
Yeah.
Oh, really?
Yeah, it's not heaps.
Yeah, I thought it was
So-
more than that.
He's trying to
I
lighten the
mean,
car, I think.
Yeah, I
I
think
know,
if he...
Sorry, there you go.
No, look, Ben knows what he has to do. He just needs to throw it really hard on his chase and jam it right in there and stay on them. And I think you can do that. Well,
As
Sweet.
long as he's got a good spotter, because he took instruction really well, actually. Like, when we gave him a couple of hints, he just took and ran with it, which was actually impressive, so.
Sean Gilbert's going to be a spotter, if you know
Yeah,
him.
good. Yeah.
Sean? Who's
He's
Sean?
from
Yeah, Sean. He's
Who
got
is he?
that green K70.
Green. Yeah. He's a super aggressive driver. So.
No, I don't remember.
When I was
who he
driving my
is.
battle car at Wakefield,
Yeah,
when I was driving my
he did
battle car at
DCA as
Wakefield,
well.
he had the black style 180.
Oh,
That's
and
in
he
the
did
picture with me and Steve.
Yeah, he did also one of the first
Don't
couple of
worry.
rounds at Rally. Oh no, at
Don't
Figure
worry.
8, and he
Don't worry.
surprised the crap out of everybody, which is cool.
Don't worry. When was the last
Oh,
time
who
we went
gets? We're
drifting?
diverging.
When was the last time we went drifting?
Oh, a long time ago now, I think.
That's my point.
All right,
Oh, yeah,
so
gotcha. Anyway, whatever.
I don't know. I'm gonna go for the underdog on that one. I'm gonna say Benny, just because I don't know the other ones that well. I don't know how Jack's gonna go in Big's car.
Okay.
EG?
Me? No, I would pick Jack.
Be Jack.
Yeah.
Next pool, Steve.
All right, next pool, guys. We have Connor Shanahan, Luke Fink, Michael Bonney, and Stephen Bergmans. The only one I haven't heard of is Stephen Bergmans, actually.
He's the one that won the Drift Masters thing, and he's driving Rob's car.
Oh, really?
That's right.
Yeah. Yep.
Oh, shit.
Yeah,
that's crazy.
Yeah, that is super cool. Yeah. So I remember Steve from Ray Lee, and when he was driving sort of amateur up there in his chaser, he just sort of drove it there, and I think he even towed his mate's car there with a trailer in the back of that chaser, something weird like that. But a lot of talent, but just doesn't drive that much, and his car's pretty good, but nothing overly special.
No,
so it'll be interesting.
Doesn't he
seeing-
get someone else's car?
Yeah, he gets Rob's, doesn't he? Or the 350.
Yeah.
Yeah, so
He's,
that'd be
not
good.
even popping up on Google. What's going on?
I think he works at Webco or something. Like, not that there's anything wrong with working at Webco, but
Hang on.
like,
Sorry. I haven't updated the visual yet. Okay, here we go.
Okay. I know Michael Bonney is a fairly consistent driver, but I haven't actually seen enough of him to sort of really, I don't know, put him up there as a favourite, I guess. All right, you go.
no, you're just procrastinating a little bit.
No, I was just going to say, if he can have a car that holds together, I'll probably put Fink at the top of that pool for me.
I reckon, yeah, that's what I'd
AG?
pick Fink, but I reckon his car will fail him, so that's why I pick Connor.
Look, I'm going to go with Fink because he's not driving his car. So
Oh, isn't he? Whose car's he driving?
What car's he driving?
he's driving that purple V8 180, isn't he?
Don't know.
Because Connor's driving the Sil,
Yeah.
Jack's driving the 86, and that purple 180 that Gisbergen drove at the State Series or State round. Oh, you guys weren't there. Like this 180 thing. It's like sparkly purple. I don't know. I think they just put like some new LS7 something in it. I don't know. But it's not cheap. It's not a cheap car.
Okay. So wait, who's Steve?
Alright,
who's lighting
so- I said Fink.
on? Okay.
Yeah, I only think.
All right. Okay.
All right, so who we got next? So in the next pool, we got. This is where it starts getting interesting. You got Nob Taniguchi, you got Nathan Greenhill, you got Bo Yates, and Drip Samurai.
Ooh.
So at QR
Go
last
on,
time, Drift Samurai was meant to drive the Night Sports FD, but then the car broke. I think the cradle broke, and they were still putting the car together on the Sunday. So I have a feeling it's going to be a repeat. So I've sort of written him off. So the car's going to not make it. I don't know who is Taniguchi bringing a car over. Is that what's happening? Do you know?
No, I don't know.
And then
let me see if anything's on his.
yeah, I wasn't quite sure if he's bringing a car over or was driving someone else's car. So
That's a big factor.
I was kind of not sure about him either. Greenhill did came
Dale
second.
reckons that he's bringing a car over. Alright, yeah, keep going.
Yeah, so Greenhill
Yeah,
I think came second or third in DCA series, but he's bringing
super aggressive driver.
yeah, but he's
Yeah,
bringing
super aggressive,
a new car, and I don't think the car has had enough testing, and it's going to do
Yeah,
It's going to be a big thing. Yeah, it's going to be a cool car, but it literally is going to be a checkbook car built just before the bloody event.
Yeah, well,
Yep.
I think they're still putting it together, and it's almost a week out. So, and it takes them a day to drive
is he still
over.
running? Chris, what suspension is he running in that? Like, is he running a Costal front end still, or?
I thought that's what he's going to do.
Yeah.
So it's more based on the car actually in this bracket. So I think Bo is my bet because he's in his car and it's a sorted car.
Yep. I think if Greenhill gets used to his car really quickly and feels comfortable in it straight away, he could surprise people. Well, I don't know if surprise is the right word, but like in the traditional sort of scene in Australia, I guess.
Oh, like the underdog type thing.
Well, you know, like you got Bo, Taniguchi, Imamura, like, you know, they're very big names where, I'm not saying Greenhill's not a big name, but like not in that sort of scene. You know, it's like his first attempt at time attack or even sort of high tech sort of scene or ADGP. Like he never did any of that. So
Well, that whole with him being aggressive is a double-edged sword. Yeah, like I did notice a couple of times that it did lead to some very cool driving, but also some very odd mistakes. Yeah. And he does take a couple of runs to warm up. Not saying that, you know, most people don't, but you can really tell in his early runs. I noticed more than a lot of the other people. It was very, he wasn't very smooth to begin with. He was very, very bitey on the wheel and you know, on the brakes a fair bit. And it just made it look funny in the front end of the car. But that's just me being a little picky, I guess. But yeah, like I said, once he warmed up to it, he was a really cool, aggressive driver.
I think he's, yeah. Oh, okay then.
Okay, so
who'd you go with? It was Bo?
I got Bo.
Yeah, I got Bo.
Yeah, okay, with Bo.
Oh, that's boring.
Yeah, come on, Steve. You're letting the team down, mate.
So hang on, I'm gonna show my noobness here. Who is the drift samurai?
He's the
guy.
driver.
What's his name? He has the FC in Japan.
The purple one?
It's blue.
The yellow one. Yellow.
Oh, yellow. Oh,
no.
It's
Oh, wait. It changes. It used to.
It's yellow and blue, wasn't it?
It was.
Taniguchi's
blue
driving the
before. I think it's
HS86. I don't know if that changes anything for you guys. I know that's a pretty well set up car.
What car was it?
The HKS86.
Oh, Taniguchi's driving that.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was yellow, so a long time ago, I think.
I think his early stuff was yellow with like blue flames or something.
Red flames or brown, or
Close.
red flames, and it went to blue. I think it's purple now, or maybe it might still be blue.
Oh, I know that car. Yeah. No, I've just looked at it. Ooh.
Yeah,
I'm gonna go.
He's driving Cliff Clayson's Night Sports FD.
That changes everything.
No, well, I think he's gonna do the same thing as QR, because QR he turned up and the car wasn't ready, and as soon as it was ready on Sunday, it broke. So
Man, that's rotary life for you, I guess, right?
I think it's just it's last minute motorsport.
Yeah.
All right, next ball.
I'm gonna say Green Hill. I'm gonna change mine to Green Hill. I'm gonna take a punt.
good.
There you go.
Okay.
All right, I'm gonna have to scribble this then.
All right.
So nobody's going with Taniguchi.
No.
I
Alright. So,
had Taniguchi is like
That's good. I'm changing to Taniguchi.
close. No, you can't do that. I've already saved
Alright.
it. It's already saved.
Oh god.
so I got to change and Blake didn't.
No, because it was just before I saved.
Favoritism.
It, so. Alright, fine.
Anyway,
Yeah,
next
I'll
ball.
scribble you out.
Oh, I just know.
Here we
Like,
go.
that's just old loyalties coming through because his video of the 180 at Tsukuba, I think it is like one of my favorite drift videos.
180.
In car, like when he was in car.
I don't know.
No,
He drives
anyway.
scuba every day.
Never mind. Keep going.
All right. So Pool F, we got Dale Campaign, Jake Jones, Carl Thompson, and Camo Moat. Now, anyone I don't know is Carl Thompson. Who's that?
No
He's
idea.
the guy who drives the white S15 in D1NZ with the NASCAR. It was like polka dot, but I think it's Falcon now.
Yeah. Maybe.
He used to own Fatboy.
Oh, is
that guy.
Yeah.
he bringing across this the full rotor?
No, he
No.
sold that.
Lexus? Oh, he sold that.
He sold that for a lot of money. He is driving his S15, which has got some NASCAR or sprint car V8 making 1,000 horsepower with NOS, NA, or some absolutely crazy thing. He just posted up a picture of him at Fukuoka, and it just looks ridiculous, that car.
I'm just looking at photos of it now with a massive red box on the bonnet.
Yup. It is actually a seriously cool car.
It's interest. Hang on. Yeah. All right. So here we go.
That's
So
better.
Dale Campaign is one of my. I got a love-hate relationship with that guy.
Interesting.
Is that the guy can drive, but only when he's pushed. You know, if you just send him out, he's just super tame. And not very interesting to watch. It's only you see it come out in the reruns. You can actually see his skill and aggression come out, but it's not until he's pushed that he actually does it.
Yeah, I agree with that.
Every single round of DCA, I've had to say something to him for that very thing. I know you can drive, man. Fucking pull your finger out,
But the thing is with that is I actually think I don't know where EG's gone. Is EG even still here?
Yeah, I'm still here. I turned off the
Okay.
video because there was only me on the video anyway.
Okay, cool. But I think he definitely drives in his safe zone a lot until he absolutely needs to, and I think that's half the reason why he's consistent in all these comps because of that. So, like, even though I get your point of view there, Steve, I actually think, as much as I hate to say this, that's potentially half the reason why he keeps winning series, as well as other factors, of course. But
Consistency.
yeah, like
Yeah.
he comes out of his shell and really pushes when he absolutely has to. You know, it's like well, either that or you get knocked out. So
Yeah, that's kind of boring. And then
yeah, that's exactly what
I'm not
I think.
saying it's not.
Like I know it's a winning technique, but it's almost like winning by default. I don't know. It just seems boring to me. But I mean, if it works, it works. You know. But
you have experience with that, Steve.
yeah.
Rally, some Europe trip.
You took from
Never
Was it
know,
myself?
Blake.
You want to look at myself for that one?
So
hey,
in
you
hindsight,
you can blame EG for that one.
in hindsight,
I
which
stopped
which method's better, Blake?
Well, how many trips to Europe have I had? How many trips to Europe has Steve had? Oh, there's
So you need to be talking to EG about this because I had nothing to do with the charging, right? So that's all on EG.
Pretty sure I spun out or
no,
did something
yeah,
stupid.
Blake,
No,
yeah,
you deserve that.
no, Blake stuffed
Because
up.
yeah, and you actually did a really good run on that last one.
It was
Remember?
okay. It's
Okay.
Fink was in the car. Then if Fink did the run he did on the first lap in your car, then yeah, he would have killed you. Like,
Yeah,
would've killed
yeah.
you.
Well, the dude has his own track. Yeah. That's my excuse.
I didn't get that. The
All right,
too slow.
That's right. So Jake Jones, I don't know. Does he actually do much driving or does he just build cars?
I think Jake's biggest issue at the moment is lack of seat time. The feedback I'm hearing from people, not that I've seen it personally, is that he's very rusty.
No. I think I have a feeling he's doing stuff. He's doing like he did Gatton. He did.
Was he doing China?
That was last year. That's what he's doing a lot of his vlogs on. Actually, I should probably mention that earlier in this show. But Jake, I think he's saving his car, so he's not really wanting to get it damaged, wanting to break things, because his car costs a lot of money, and I think that's sort of playing games in his mind, like, oh no, I can't push, because if I push, there's a chance that it could break, and if it breaks, it's going to cost money, and so just sort of go, all right, I'm just going to go like 80%, and then it kind of shows that way.
What's Cameron Moat been doing? Is he driving the high-tech 350?
Yeah, I think he is, isn't he?
That's Arbolino's in the high-tech 350, and then
what's Cameron driving?
And then Javit's the backup driver.
Yep. So what is Camo driving?
Camo is driving was in an S15. I think he was in an S15 on the Revo day, with some.
Which one? Because it's not his. Like, it's not
S15.
the
I
one
thought
I'm
he
used
also
to.
has a S15 with like a Rocket Bunny style kit on it.
Oh, okay. So that one he sold to Matt Hill.
Okay.
So-
I don't know what he's driving then.
So Dale is just saying that he did Drift Masters and broke the engine and gearbox. I'm guessing that's the 350, like when Jabbit drove it, was it? I think. Because Arbolino couldn't drive it, but they'd have that back together. But is anyone actually driving the high-tech car for World Time Attack? It doesn't look. I don't see any names.
I don't think so. No, I don't think so.
I thought they would have been all over that.
But I've seen Cameron Moat at practice days, like the Revolution days, because he went to the one before in the yellow 180.
Oh, the 180. That was a cool car.
Yeah.
So he's now he's driving the Link 2J
the Link
S15.
Yeah, the Rocket Bunny one.
Ooh, that's going to be. I don't know who to pick on that one actually. You go first. I'm being going first.
Hang on. Oh no. Wait, what?
Do you reckon Campaign will have the power in that car to do the big track?
I know compete with the other people.
Yeah. I know it's a powerful car, but whether it's up like 800 horsepower, sort of.
Look, I don't think power really. I know people say it's a bit of a power track, but I really don't think it.
Mate, that last sweeper that sweeper onto the straight makes
it. It's really depends on the clips.
Yeah, but I agree.
If it was Drift Australia, power track.
Who is in the? Okay, so who's in the pool again? I've forgotten her name.
Oh no, sorry, I was wrong. Jake Jones did Drift Masters and broke his engine gearbox.
Oh yeah, that's right. And he's BMW. Oh no, he's S13.
It's Sonvia.
Yeah, that one.
But yeah, what's your choice? What's your pick?
Well, I just asked for the names again because I've forgotten them.
All right, you ready? You got
Yeah.
Dale Campaign, Jake
Oh.
Jones, Carl
Oh.
Thompson, and Camo Mo.
I'm gonna go camo.
I'm gonna go Campaign. As much as I hate to, I'm gonna go Campaign.
You hate to. Jesus, that's aggressive.
That drives me nuts. His driving. Like I know it's winning it one in the series and won them all the rounds, but it still drives me nuts.
Okay.
All right, so I don't know.
Each-
Oh yeah, you
wait.
guys pick. Yeah.
Oh yeah, I've got Cameron Moat already, closely followed by Dale.
Oh, you did too.
Yeah.
Okay.
So-
Yeah, but is everybody else like that? Whatever.
Sorry.
Next
Who'd
ball.
you pick? Who'd Blake pick?
Camo as well. Camo.
Yeah, all right. Okay, so what do we got in the last one? All right, so second last one. Sorry, Pool G. You got Mitch Pullen, Danny Probert, Naoki Nakamura, and Joel Dimac. I'm gonna go Probert just because he's got a cool car.
What?
What's he got?
He's got
That's
the rad freaking blue XD Falcon with the
Oh,
barrel
yeah.
in it, I think. I
Yeah,
freaking
Oh,
love that
Jesus.
car.
He's
Steve.
another. It's cool, but he's another one of those guys with a car that's untested.
I don't care. No, but he's been drifting XDs for years. Like he's
That's
been
not that
like,
car.
look, if anyone's gonna know how to set up those cars, it's gonna be like you setting up a friggin' another S chassis. You know, you're gonna set it up and you're gonna know pretty much roughly how you're gonna want it and how to fix it if you need to quickly. You know.
Look,
Yeah,
Steve,
too
you know
much
what? I'm
faith
just going to
in me.
hold you right there. Okay, let's just stop because I don't know what you guys are talking about, but Naoki's in this pool, so what are you even
Yeah.
talking about other people for? Like, as long as his
No,
car
look,
stays
I'm
together, that's
I'm being completely
absolute shooting.
biased. I'm being unashamedly biased just because I like the car.
I reckon.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
go to power first. Like, what the hell?
I reckon Nakamura's diff's gonna break.
See, all right,
But
I'm
you-
happy to. I'm going to stick with Probert now, just because I want to see him come out on top and just make you eat your words.
No, you know what? Screw it. Screw everything else on this bloody. Delete all the names of the thing. If Nakamura beats the XD dude, all right.
What are you gonna do?
I want Steve to go vegan for 6 months.
Oh,
Man, I don't
wow.
even eat vegetables as it is. What
Yes.
makes you think?
All right, you don't get a choice in this, Steve. But what happens?
He'll sneak food. I know.
What
Oh,
happens?
100%.
What happens if?
Chicken
No,
nuggets.
no.
What happens if Nakamura goes through though?
Well,
Whoa.
that's what I want. I mean, if XD dude goes through,
Yeah. No. If.
Yeah. Yeah, that's what you mean. If XD do go through
I don't know. I'll have a piece of steak or something. Whatever.
for 6 months, yeah.
6 months.
Can't afford that.
Hey man, winning's winning.
I'm giving you the cheaper option.
What?
You're also giving me the shitty option because it tastes
Nah,
like ass.
You
You know?
know, health. You'll be heaps healthier, Steve.
I don't give a fuck. I like my bacon.
That's right. Anyway, we're off topic here. Honestly, I think
Who's
Naoki's
Mitch
going to throw it
Pullen?
in.
And I just have a quick.
I think he's going to throw it in backwards and just be full throttle into that sort of sail zone and wipe off speed and just
What car is he bringing? What
stuff
car
that
is he?
people haven't even seen.
The
He's
1,000
driving the
horsepower
DJ.
S14 or something, isn't it?
Yeah,
This is Nakamura.
yeah, yeah, exactly. Shove your XD up that.
That's why I think he's gonna break a diff or an axle or
What'd
something.
you spin it?
I have no idea. It just seems to be a common thing.
Corolla did.
That's because he's badass. Like he drives like nobody else drives.
I think it's fine. Anything
I-
on this phone, like.
The internet's so bad.
Anyone out there in live world know what Mitch Pullen drives or where he's from? Everyone's getting cranky because they just say it's Nakamura.
Yeah, see? We have the support.
Nakamura and who? And Dimac? I can't find
that Paul guy?
Is it the Z? With the GTR running gear?
Dimac, hang on.
That's Kelly, isn't it? Darren Kelly?
Know. Who's D-Mac? I don't know.
Oh no, he's got a GTR, never mind.
I can't find any information on this Mitch Pullen guy.
I've got Nakamura as well, by the way.
Alright, sweet. I'm going the underdog. Screw you guys.
Yeah.
Alright,
Okay.
so the
Last
next
one.
we have, last one is Jace Brown, Matty Hill, Levi Clark, and Matt Harvey.
Who's the first one?
Yeah, see,
Jace
look.
Brown.
Yeah, Joel Dimmick is the 240Z with the BR38.
Oh, yeah.
Ah.
Yeah.
Does not change my answer at all.
Well, last time it didn't
I
run,
mean,
so...
Yeah.
Well, it kind of ran.
You want to hope
It's a pretty
after
cool
a
car,
year's had
though.
a bit of setup time in it. So we got
Well,
Jace
if
Brown.
Steve actually listened from... If Steve Thorne listened from the start, he would have known that this wasn't the plan to begin with. So, should have been a better fan of the show. But I did say... I'm pretty sure I did say Joel was in the Z. Jace
Yeah,
Brown,
you
don't
did.
know who that is. Matt Hill.
What's that name of that rocket bunny friend in that people put all over their chassis for a while? It looks like an old Camaro / Datsun.
Oh, is he from New Zealand?
Yeah.
It's a black one, yeah?
Black and green. Yeah.
Yeah, he's... I've never heard that car under 4,000 RPM. Like, every time he drove through the pits or spun or whatever, it was just like revving the crap out of it non-stop. So, that's a no from me.
Not a fan?
Oh, it was really annoying. Like, he actually sort of drove pretty cool, and the car was pretty cool. Like,
The car
it's
is
just...
cool. I think that.
Yeah, it is. That just, like, little things bug you, Steve. Yeah, it's just one of them things. I'm sure he's a lovely guy. Who was the other people in this pool?
All right. So you got Jace Brown, Matty
Yep.
Hill, Levi
Yep.
Clark, Matt Harvey.
So Matty Hill's got a broken foot. He's gonna find
Yeah, but
out
it'll be
I think,
better.
2 or 3 days.
Yeah, it'll be better next week.
2 or 3 days before the event,
be
he's gonna
alright.
find out whether he can actually drive.
He'll be fine.
send it. Isn't that the?
Yeah, but
You just need to strap
you
it
hear
and
what
it'll
I'm
be
saying,
fine. Nah, it'll be alright.
He's going to the doctor like 2 or 3 days before, and apparently that's going to stop him. I don't know. He hasn't driven any D1. Oh, he hasn't driven any FD Japan, so I mean, his foot must be pretty bad to not do any of that. Because I would have just plastered that thing up and, you know.
Use it like a peg leg.
Yeah, well, pretty much. Like, it's only a clutch pedal.
Well, the car he's got, you just put it in third or fourth and just let it fucking power through, right?
Well, oh yeah, it's a built 2J now. Yeah. Oh, I've done 100 laps at Archie. Just clicking that over.
Levi Clark. He's a fairly consistent driver.
I've only seen him in World Time Attack, and that's it.
Yeah.
Doesn't drive very much, I don't think.
I'm gonna go with Harvey on this one,
Yeah, I'll go with Harvey.
just because his driving always impresses me. It's always been pretty cool.
I'm actually
boring.
excited to see Harvey drive, to be honest.
What do you mean boring?
We're pretty fairly consistent on most of these, actually.
Except for Probert.
Yeah, but even in that pool, I agree with Blake with Nakamura. So there's very little pools that we're all sort of pick a different person each.
There was one. I think we did one that we picked a different
Yeah, hang
one,
on.
didn't we?
I'll see if I can bring it up.
I think it was the first one.
There was the first one, and it's Pool A and Pool E. But hang on, we'll just see.
Oh shit! Sorry.
All right, so they're going to be running most of these pool battles on the Friday night, but they want to try and fit it in 2 hours.
Yeah, that's fine.
So you're going to have.
I'm just wondering how they actually
What's
run the
that?
pool battles, if they have each one like one after the other, so they have to do a lap and come back again, or if they'll sort of run whatever's ready. So if they Pool A battle one's ready, then they'll send that. Then suddenly they'll go Pool E battle one, and send that, and there'll be no consistency. If that makes sense.
Yeah, I don't know how consistency is going to work.
No, it's more.
I mean, with this
It's more
stuff.
for like understanding. All right, hang on. Okay, so this is the. I've just posted up the. I don't know, the tally, I guess.
All right.
So
There you go.
we have the initials for each person. So in Pool A, we're all sort of pick someone different, and then yeah, otherwise they're fairly close together. If you can see that. I guess we'll have to see. Who? Oh no, because yeah, we won't even know who makes it through the top 8 until Saturday.
Yeah. Well, I mean, apparently they're going to do all but the last battles of the pool on Friday night. So they're actually going to still be doing pools on Saturday night. Apparently.
Yeah, well, yeah, it's meant to be. There's 3 battles in each pool, and 2 sets of battles are in Friday, and the final battles on Saturday, and then they have the top 8. But top 8's really quick.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm not convinced they're going to do as much of the pools as they think they are in 2 hours.
In 2 hours. Yeah, I agree.
You reckon?
Because they have to go all the way back around and then do their battle again. And how many battles per pool?
Four.
There's going to be
Like
4 battles.
Yeah.
4.
Yeah, 4 battles.
And how many
per pool.
pools are there?
8.
There's 8, isn't there?
Yeah.
Yeah, so that's 32. Is it?
Hang on.
Yeah. So that's 32 battles in 2 hours. No.
Hang on. So in the pools, each driver battles the other driver once, or do they do a lead and a chase run? Or
Yeah, lead and chase.
Yeah, so you got 64 runs.
There's no reruns.
Yeah, but still, you got 2 hours. That means you need to do a run every 2 minutes.
Yeah.
No, like, is that possible?
That's possible as long as the marshals are on point, the fire marshals are on point, and all that, and the recovery crew is on point.
And the drivers getting out there, changing tires, all that sort of
They
stuff.
shouldn't have to change tyres. There's no reruns. It's either win, lose, or draw. And if you draw, you get 1 point. If you win, you get 2 points.
Yeah, but keep in mind how many battles are they going to get off a pair of tires? You're probably going to get one.
Well, that's why I was just asking. It really depends on how they run the battle. So if they just send the first battle through and say you've got to turn around, like, are they going to wait for him to get back to the start line and run that second half of the battle, or are they going to turn him around, or are they going to just send the next battle?
There's going to be 6 battles per pool at least, right?
Yeah, but
No,
Friday
4.
only has 4. It's 6 each pool. Yeah, you're right. 6 each pool.
Oh, to verse each other driver.
Yeah, but that's the last one. So the third one of each pool is on the Saturday. Does that make sense?
Hey, but there's 6 battles, right?
There's 6 battles, yeah, but 4.
Yeah.
So the 4. So when you say 6 battles, it's lead chase, right?
No. As in 6 battles, as in if you pair them all up, that's 6 sets of lead-ins and chases.
No, it's 8.
No.
Oh, 6. How are you
No,
getting 6?
Yeah, because you only verse each one in that pool. So there's each pool has a lead, a chase, a lead, a chase, lead, a chase. I don't know how to describe.
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm
6
drawing it out.
There's not
I'm
6
actually-
lead. Why are we drawing this out?
why is there
like
6
something
lead
we
runs?
shouldn't be
It
drawing
should be
out.
3 lead runs.
This is me.
No,
I don't
yes.
know.
Wow. Okay, we've got the dumbest mathematicians in Australia.
It's 6 battles or 6
Yeah.
sets or 3
No,
sets.
it's 3 battles. It's 6
Yeah.
runs.
6 runs, 3 battles. Yeah.
So
a lead chase,
6
lead
times
chase,
8.
lead chase.
What? 48. 48 battles. All up. Oh, 48 runs all up.
Yeah, but
I don't know.
you're only doing you're
don't
not
know.
doing all the runs on the Friday.
Okay, let's move on. This is
Yeah, so
Lost
you're
control, yeah.
doing 2 sets of
But
battles,
like-
so 4 runs. You're doing 4 runs.
Look, it's come down to
Guys.
combinations and permutations. I'm actually studying this at the moment.
Oh
It's
my
4
god,
factorial.
Steve.
That's how I know. It's 4 times 3 times 2, right? Is how many battles. In theory, they should be.
Four.
What do you? I
Where's
think.
the 4 come from? There's
Yeah.
8 pools.
Yeah, I don't
No,
know
look,
what
don't
you're.
worry, don't worry about it. Doesn't matter. But anyway.
No.
I love the
can
way
you-
you talk yourself up.
I-
It's like,
okay.
I'm going to uni for this.
Before,
You are
yeah.
half
If
off.
you ever make anything, let me know. If you ever make a bridge, let me know because I'm not going to go on that bridge.
Okay, anyway.
I'm not going to become a civil engineer. Yeah.
Whatever. If you're going to design a car or something, I'm not going to do anywhere near that thing.
So
So he's
6
like,
runs.
yeah, it's got all 2 wheels. It's fine.
So
And
you
bikes are
understand? You understand how the pools work, don't you, Steve? So the first person, so there's 4 people, and they have a battle each.
Yeah.
So there's only, and you can't battle yourself. Well, you probably could, but
No.
yeah.
that's
So
why
you
it's
would battle
factorial.
each person. So it's 3. It's 3 battles. I don't know where you get.
Yeah, doesn't matter. Anyway, keep going.
So I think there's enough time. As long as everyone's on point, it'll be fine.
Okay. We've ascertained we have enough time. Excellent.
All right.
As
So,
soon
so
as
6,
well,
6 battles per pool. Is that right?
What?
So is it 6 battles per pool? How many have we decided what it is?
Oh my god, who cares?
Oh no, I'm just trying to think. So if there's 8 pools and there's
2
6
days,
battles a
Steve.
pool.
2 days.
Ben, you've been at events as well. You know how long this shit takes.
All right,
There's a
look,
top 8.
obviously people who have done this before are running this event and can only have faith in the fact they know what they're doing.
So yeah.
Anyways,
theoretically,
agenda
that'd
topic.
only be that would only be
What do you got, EG? What's next?
There'd only be 32 runs the whole night. So
Oh, God.
you're right.
Can we
It's
talk
like
about the
2
runs?
minutes. 2 minutes per run, which will be fine. Roughly.
2 minutes for one. We got to that conclusion like
Yeah. I know.
15
I know.
minutes ago.
But yeah. Okay. So I think that's about it in terms of the ideas for tonight.
I've got an idea to talk about.
Okay.
Okay, can I have the floor?
Yep. Go ahead, Blake.
Okay, sweet. I don't know if I've talked to you guys about this, but I've been thinking about this lately. You know how when you go to an event and you try and describe like the entertainment factor or the excitement factor of a run, which for people who are very clinical with their approach or logical, because I know Ben struggles with this one, and it's sort of like you got flair or excitement or that sort of stuff, and you're trying to explain to people what that is. And it seems like some people have got it or they don't, and it's really hard to get that, I guess. Like, do you guys know what I'm talking about when I explain that?
Yeah. Well, I mean, that comes down to I don't know if this is what you're actually talking about, actually, but it comes down to what I was saying before.
You didn't understand. You just agreed with it just to get me shut up.
What?
No, it's what you were saying before. That's where I got the idea from.
Yeah, as in where people are doing what they're meant to, but there's no flair to it. Is that?
Yes.
Yes.
No
Okay. Yeah. So,
excitement.
yeah.
Because you know how like you watch a battle and it might not even be the most technically accurate battle of the day or whatever. Well, it's like exciting. Like at Cash King's, the guy in the 370, I think it was. Like he had that. It was like that looseness where you just like, this is like the best thing ever. Like he wasn't.
But then that's like trying to say you're almost like trying to describe it like why people go to see NASCAR. They go to see the crash.
Yeah.
Oh no! Well, yeah, sort of, but like
100% they go to see the crashes.
Left turn.
But see, you talk about people like, okay, let's say Matt Harvey, for example, and I think, like, if you think about people's personality types and how they come across as a person, and then their driving style and how that comes across, like, it's very correlatable in a lot of ways. Like, you look at Matt Harvey, very controlled, very, like, I guess, clinical in his approach, but, like, sort of calm, mild manner. And then when he drives, it's sort of reflecting of that, like, you know what I mean? But then you got somebody like Greenhill who's a bit looser, let's say.
I've seen Matt be pretty aggressive.
Yeah, I have as well.
But I get where you're going though.
He's sort of like poked, and then that's why he's become aggressive.
Yeah.
But that's his style. That's like you can sort of. I think what they say in Initial D is aura. Oh wait, the internet's dying.
Yeah, no, I know what you're talking about. Yeah, aura, from Initial D.
Oh, yeah. No, he does. He definitely does.
The big bullshit win on your car, yeah.
But then you got people like I used to have a whole list of these people that I use as examples. You got people like I guess let's say, oh god, I'm really sort of failing here with this whole concept.
No.
You got people who are like, so pick another driver. Like, I don't know, pick somebody unique or some shit. I don't know.
Nick.
Oh, Chopper.
Oh, Crippen.
There you go.
Who? Chopper.
Yeah.
Chopper. He's a good
okay. Well, he has that sort of no care, like, I'm here to have fun, sort of, but at the same time, whatever happens. I'm just going to go hard, sort of attitude. Well, it sort of comes across that way. And then his driving style reflects. And I think, like, it comes across cool. Like, I always like watching him drive. And
doesn't always work for him, but it's always entertaining to watch.
Oh, it is. And you sort of, but like, try and explain to somebody who is sort of super controlled that they need to be out of control, like, or flamboyant or whatever. And I think that's hard. Like, It's
Well,
sort of at a
he was-
disadvantage.
Someone
Yeah,
was
so
saying
someone
down in
like
Tasmania, down in Tasmania, he was driving without brakes.
yeah.
Exactly.
How
That's what
mental
I'm
is that?
talking about. Exactly. Like, and that comes across in his sort of, as how he is as sort of a person, where it's like, oh, well, whatever, we'll just make this work. Like.
All right, here's another one. Benny Me then.
That's a really good.
That's another good one for you.
Yeah, and he's constantly thinking, and like as far as he comes from BMX, like as any avid listener would sort of remember from when he was on the show, and when he was doing that, it was always like, I got to be technical here, I got to do this right, I got to do this right, and that comes across in when he goes to events because he'll ask very specific questions about clipping points and this and that, and like half the time it's like. It's not what you're struggling at, mate. You just got to get loops. And he's even got written on his dashboard, like, be ruthless, I think it says. Something like that, which is excellent advice that he needs to continue to work at. Yeah.
All right, well, I've got one more for you, Blake. How about Jai?
I don't know. Well, no, but I can only go off his online persona. Which is like, okay, so I don't know. Okay, so firstly, I don't know the guy. I didn't listen to him when he came on this show for whatever reason. I missed that episode. So I know nothing about him apart from.
Most of the time, EG was just laughing, so that's all you heard. So.
Oh, okay. Well, fair enough. That's shit. I would say he's like. What is it like? Like rebel against authority sort of thing, like doesn't care, not doesn't
against
care.
The
like,
institution, I think it's more against institution than authority.
Yeah, I don't think.
Yeah.
I don't think that works if you don't know him. Like trying to describe his style. If you haven't seen him.
Yeah, no, I agree, and that's why I thought it'd be an interesting sort of little experiment to try and do it from his online sort of persona. So like how he's perceived, I guess. Which could be completely wrong, but like he just seems like not too cool for school, but like, like I don't really give a like. No, it's like I don't. It's like okay, this could be completely wrong, but it's like he gives the persona of he doesn't give a shit what people think, whilst completely giving a shit what people think. That could be does that make sense? Or?
Yeah,
okay,
I sort of get what.
I think Greg. What about Greg? Greg would probably be easier for you.
Like Ben.
He's a little bit more relaxed. I think it's just But
I think he's like Ben from the technical aspect, like from the ice skating, where it's like.
Because I remember one of the first things that he said to me at DCA in Tasmania was, "Where do I score points? Like, what do I do to get?" Exactly. 1 point, where do I get to? Like, if I do this, do I get 1 point? Like, how do I get those 1 points? Because I'm not going to get the big points.
Yeah, exactly. Like, strategic, planner, sort of. See where then you have people who are a bit more loose, where it's just sort of like, oh, whatever, like I just wing it.
Gotta send it.
Yeah, pretty much, and hope for the best with.
See, the funny thing about that is that sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. Like when we were doing the, actually you were there when we were running the Figure 8 series, the Super Drift series, right? You'd have all these people that would come, and then not listen at all during the briefing. And they go out and they send it. Looks cool, but wasn't what we asked for.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I don't know. That sort of drifter annoys me. But anyway.
No, actually, I completely agree with that because you see that at Rayleigh a fair bit as well, where especially, and not always, not all of them, but sometimes when sort of people who can drive and who drive at other sort of comps rock up, they think they already know what the right thing to do is, or they know the best line or whatever, and then do it, and it's like, no, like that's completely not what we're going to ask you to do sort of thing, and sort of comes across a little bit arrogant in some ways. Like, we don't need to listen, we've got this.
They shouldn't really be doing comps if that's an attitude, I think. That's fine if you want to go do practice days and go all out and go big. But oh no, comps, you're there to follow a set of judge criteria. That's the whole idea of
but
competition drift.
Yeah.
But when a lot of people here, they'll say, no, that's the wrong line. Like, you've got it wrong. You don't know what you're talking about.
Yeah.
So on practice days we do this, but that's, you might do that on
That's
a
a practice
day,
day.
but
Yeah.
this is a comp and we're asking you to do something different. So if you do what you do on a practice day, then you're just gonna lose, I guess. And then they'll complain about it. So
You know what? Look, I'm not going to get political, but I'm going to get a little bit political and say one of the biggest issues with the world right now is the fact that nobody
No.
appreciates history. Okay, look, we've started, all right? Nobody appreciates history because it's the generation, not the Me Too generation, because that sort of is relatable, but like the world revolves around me sort of generation, and so history is not important, and then people don't learn from history, so they're always reinventing the wheel over and over and over again, and like obviously especially prevalent in the States and sort of here, but it's like when they come from this perspective of, oh, this is what we do at practice days, like we know what we're doing sort of thing, they completely forget that those sort of people have maybe been drifting for what, like 3 years-ish, like 3 or 4 years in that sort of bracket. And like you, Steve, like how long have you been drifting for now? 20 something? Like, and EG especially, it's like, yes,
breaks in between.
Yeah, true. It's like I've done what you're saying. Like I've done that. I know what you're talking about, but I've sort of also progressed past that. And if you had a little bit of, and like, don't misconstrue this, but it's like wisdom is something, or experience is something that you don't really know until, I guess, you get to that age and you're like, oh shit, like I guess they were right, sort of thing. And if people sort of listen to that now instead of getting a little bit stuck, I guess, in their current mindset, then they might develop a little bit faster as well, maybe.
It is interesting.
They have to be willing to change, otherwise most people are stuck in their ways, and it's good and bad. It's really hard to, you got to find the line and be open, like try and consider it at least. That's what I think is, you don't have to do it, but at least consider it.
Yeah, 100%. That's okay. So I've just finished reading this book called.
Oh no, this is getting so.
It's still on.
I know you can relate to it. Yeah, I know you can relate, and you always related to us. But...
Okay.
No.
Do you want me to keep going then, or you want to change topic?
I've got a quick one before you go to your book. All right. So one thing I've noticed about drivers, you can tell the ones that listen, the ones that don't listen, and the ones that listen, they are the ones that actually go far in competitions a lot of the time, and then the other ones, they either disappear or they go off into their stylized drifting, which is fine. It's just a different course, different path, right? So the ones that listen are the ones that do well. Like Brad Toohey actually surprised me. He came up to one of our Super Drift events in his practice cars just to get a bit of figure eight practice, and he was one of the more attentive people at the drivers' briefing, and he actually asked really good questions and was super attentive. Like, he was almost at the point where he's about to write down notes, and he's gone on to, he's one of Australia's pro drivers, as much as pro drivers can be. And then I've just noticed the other drivers who don't pay attention, they just go off to the scene style drifting, which is just another category, I guess.
Yeah, and so you've gone down to.
By the way,
it's not crossroads.
It's not crossroads. So you've gone down. You've raised two good topics there, Steve. And why do you think the people who listen excel?
Well, you just answered because they listen. Well,
yeah, I know it seems stupidly obvious, right? But it's pretty. If I use Grant as an example, Grant Davis or whatever. So when he first started drifting, he started hanging around with like the Marvel guys or whatever. And I remember when I started learning how to drift, you know how you'd go down a path and you'd learn something and you'd be like, yeah, this is how you do it. For example, at Wakefield, you might enter in second and do something stupid because obviously second's the completely wrong gear. But you'd try something and you'd try and get good at it, and then eventually you'd realize it's completely wrong and you're like, oh god, like that's shit. And it's all those little failures that actually is why you improve, because you fail and then you improve, right? So getting back to Grant, he was fortunate enough that when he first started drifting, he was hanging around all of us, and so when he started trying these things, we were there and be like, nah, don't do that, it's stupid, like. And we just taught him the sort of right, or in our opinion, the right way at the time of doing it straight up. And because he then had to skip all of that stupid learning step where you make all these little failures and learn from it, he then improved pretty quickly because he learned from our mistakes. He didn't have to make the mistakes himself.
Yeah,
and this is like
everything.
It is. It's like that with everything. But the people who don't listen have to learn and make the mistake themselves. Or they get all defensive, or they don't want to fail, and it's this whole fear of failure, which sends them into that grassroots potentially. Like, I mean, I don't want to categorize them that group because there's a lot of different reasons why people travel that way, and I want to travel that way a little bit more myself, to be perfectly honest.
I don't want to call that grassroots though. I don't know what's definition of grassroots.
No, they call it grassroots, but it's not. I think it's I don't agree with that definition of grassroots as well. But that's what they call it. And anything that's comp is not grassroots, if that makes sense.
Look, yeah. I like that whole scene style of it, the practice day style of it. Like, I do admittedly want to do more of that, and I'm sort of into that.
100%. There's nothing wrong with it. It's just a different path, yeah.
But what does get me, and I guess this is not, I don't want to stereotype anyone in particular or even a scene, I guess, but, you know, I think some people potentially have that massive fear of failure and they don't want to they'll say, oh, I'm not into competing or whatever, but in the reality is they're scared of competing and sucking and then thinking they're a failure and having to deal with that image, when in reality, failing is what makes us improve. Like, the only way to get better is to fail at something and go, shit, well, that's not how you do it. And like, if people are just realistic with themselves and go, okay, like, this is actually why I'm doing this, well, great, like that's fantastic. But if it's just to hide this fear of failing or whatever, well, that sort of sucks for the scene.
Yeah, and look, the other thing that's got to be really held in check is that they are not competing against each other, these two paths. Like, there seems to be this big thing that if you do one, you're not as good as the other, or the other one's, you know, is shit, or and the other one's better. And they're just two different categories to me, you know? I don't know why there is this diversion, like this, these people that think that it's all right to kick up a fuss and a problem about it, where it's just two different things, you know? Anyway.
Yeah, no, I agree with that, because for a lot of people, they genuinely don't want to compete because it doesn't interest them. Like, they're not competitive in nature, but I think most people who sort of do the sport are competitive, you know, in different ways, whether it be they want the coolest looking car or they want to do the best entry, or, I mean, I don't know.
Hey, can I throw two more drivers at you for your little experiment from before?
Sure.
All right. I thought these two guys, because they're very similar to me, but Glenn Ormerod and Logan Waterhouse.
Oh, so Glenn.
They're similar but different, if you know what I mean.
Yeah. So and
Glenn's in the KE Rotor, isn't he?
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. I never met the guy.
So I think I'll start with Glenn. He's obviously a very talented driver, comes from go-karts, I believe. And you can see he's got a lot of skill sort of carrying through there. But I think maybe it's because he comes from go-karting as well, potentially. He looks at it very clinically, which actually sort of makes sense hanging out with Bo too, because Bo looks at it. Oh, he's not a good example. But I think he's too controlled, and that comes through in his driving. Like he does good line. He's very skilled, and he's very technically good, but it might not be as exciting as some other drivers.
Actually, I remember he came and asked us for advice, and both you and I said that he needs to clutch kick the shit out of his car, like because he was letting it bog and not snapping.
Yeah, I do remember that. Yep.
And then his dad came along and goes, "I've been telling him the same thing. He won't listen to me. He's trying to baby the car." It's just an odd thing to hear from a younger bloke, you know. Like if you've ever been in a car with EG, I've never seen anyone as freaking brutal as EG is on a car. But yeah, it's just an interesting thing to bring up from a younger driver.
Well, it is. Well, you look at so you look at Bo then. Apply Bo to this spectrum. All right. So Bo is, because of his sponsors and all that sort of stuff, like he's very controlled. He's very clinical. He's there to win and all that sort of shit. But he has his fiery side to him, which some people have commented on in a negative way. Like, oh, whatever your opinion.
That's part of competition. You got to have a bit of fire in you. Yeah.
Well, the thing is, every time I've seen Bo, like Bo's in some ways, the best of both worlds, because he can drive very clinically, very, calculate exactly what he's doing, be controlled. But then when he fires up, due to whatever reason, some of the best driving I've seen in Australia is from Bo when he is fired up. And I think that's worth noting, that that edge to his personality, that fiery side to it actually comes through in his driving. Well,
pushing people off track. No, this is you can't bring that up.
Anyway, like I think say what you want, but then it comes into it as well. The whole, and I know you, Steve, you and me have had multiple conversations about this. The whole people are in it to win it in some ways, and this is a competition.
Are you still talking about Bo?
Oh no, just generally, do what you need to do to win, maybe sort of thing.
I just coming back to that situation, Bo had in a bag, and then he decided to throw the runaway just to crash into someone.
He what? I missed that.
Yeah, that's not win at all costs though. No. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, yeah.
And who was the other one? Logan. Okay, what's your take on Logan then in that regard?
Logan comes from a rally background, doesn't he?
I think so.
Yeah,
it wasn't as in-depth as I thought, though.
Yeah, I mean, I was expecting more aggressive entries from him because of that, but that's one of the things we sort of advised him on one of the corners, and he started, because he used to do the old, handbrake entry trick where we're just like, no, in a car like yours, you got to flick and clutch, and he starts doing that, and then pick that up real quick, but I don't know, it's you can tell, like he loves being the underdog. He's I mean, he plays the role well. I mean, well, he's not even a role, that's what he does. So
yeah, I think there's a level of, because he is fairly new to the scene, working his way up sort of thing, I guess. For somebody in that sort of position, he has a lot of confidence, not arrogance per se, but confidence. That sort of comes through in his driving as well, which is interesting.
And then another one, actually a really interesting one, was did you see Nick Orman up in Queensland at the DCA round?
Who? Oh, the 31.
Yeah, he's pretty much what you could call one of the scene drifters, like rocking up in a leopard print onesie or something, didn't he?
Oh, yeah.
But didn't he have a comp car? The 180 was a comp car.
I don't know, but he was driving that 31 bloody well for what it was anyway.
Yeah, that was a loan car, wasn't it?
No idea, man.
Nah, I
No.
thought it was his. I think he
Nah,
always
I
drives
think-
that. Doesn't
No. It was always drives it, but it's loaned to him by Zell.
he? Oh yeah. Look, the thing about him is that, you know, he put the car on every clip. Like he did what was asked of him, and yeah, but it did come across as this no fucks given thing as well. Like, which I don't know him as a person, but maybe, you know, being that sceney sort of thing. Like it's just like, this is what I'm doing. I'm doing what you asked, but if I put people off or whatever, then I don't give a fuck. Like, this is just my job. No?
I think
So,
that's pretty much it. That's Nick Ullman in a well, from what I saw in a nutshell. So
Yeah.
Logan's ears must have been burning because he's just jumped on. He's listening to these and wondering why we're talking about him. So nothing bad, mate. We're
that's
actually
how
giving you-
that's how we get viewers. We just continually list every single person we know, and
Just
then
name
they
drop,
want to
mate.
hear what we're saying about them. So anybody who has a set of Corsa who is listening, I think we're on the risky Archerfield thing. So
Yeah, as soon as
come and
my
drive.
as soon as my exams are over, I'm pulling out the steering wheel again. I still haven't got a hang of this freaking game. Like, it does my
I
head
don't
in.
think my internet's quick enough.
Sorry.
The internet.
My internet is quick enough.
Oh yeah, it's probably not. You know, you need to get that NBN going. Although it doesn't actually need much internet.
No, they should be alright.
Well, I'm currently up to lap 204 on Archie, so you know, getting good practice in.
Yeah. Have you guys tried FR Legends out yet while we're talking about games?
No, I haven't.
Yeah.
Going all clear.
Yeah, kind of had a big spaz
It-
about
it-
it and wondering why it was so popular, but it's just a thing. Like, there's so many other drifting games that are popular even though you don't actually feel like you're drifting.
Oh yeah, I've heard about you in this.
Huh?
What? Anti-gaming.
Me? No, I thought Grid felt really good.
Grid.
Yeah.
You
No.
can't play that while you're sitting on the pooper though.
Yeah, but
Oh,
you're playing the computer.
you can't play a set of Corsa when you're sitting on the pooper either, unless
You can
well.
play FR Legends.
Okay. Yeah.
A set of
Oh wait,
Corsa
are you
actually.
using the hang on. Are you using the screen controls or the accelerometer controls?
In which one? In FR Legends, I'm using the
What
accelerometer.
office?
I've tried it with the on-screen controls and I suck at that. I can do it with the accelerometers, but on-screen I suck.
Yeah. Okay. Well, anyway, I thought Grid felt good. I tried Gran Turismo,
Oh, I just saw
and
someone get
I could never get it going. Drifting.
Gran Turismo sucks.
And other
Yeah,
people
Gran
said it was really realistic, and I played it. I'm like, no, it's not. And I can't.
What, Gran Turismo?
Yeah.
No, Gran Turismo's shit.
And then there
Live
was
for
Forza as well. I never played Live for Speed.
Yeah. Look,
Yeah.
I never liked Forza, but I never played it that much. But
Oh, I thought
You
it
know-
was hard.
yeah,
It's kind
Look,
of weird.
oh,
Like you had to get on the power, and you couldn't let it slide in.
yeah, okay.
If that
Oh,
makes sense.
yeah, okay, yeah.
Yeah.
Well, look,
Where with
Live-
Grid, like I remember being off gas and it slid in.
yeah, I think. Yeah, nah. Look, to me, I don't like any of those games because they don't feel like anything. Like they don't feel like a car. But Live for Speed, I still think is the best physics-wise. But you've got some. Oh, I don't know. They're like made-up cars. They're sort of like a 180, but not on tracks that are made up. And instead of Corsa, if you drive the right cars, pretty good. Like I think it feels pretty similar. And you get to drive actual tracks that you go to, so that's like the best thing ever because you can practice them before comps and stuff like that. So
I still haven't found my $50 steering wheel yet, Brent. I think it was Brent that said I'd find it for $50.
oh look, 150 and you'll get there. You'll get like
Well,
a G25 for 150.
Man, my favourite gaming memory was with the original Gran Turismo, where you just get that Suzuki Pikes Peak Escudo.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Oh,
and you just keep it pinned, and you just bounce off the walls and you win the races that way.
Yeah. See, I got this Echo, I think it was, or what do they call it? Yaris?
Oh yeah, the Yaris.
No, Vitz or some shit.
yeah, the Vitz. No, I remember Vitz RS.
Yeah, and I modified the shit out of that Echo and put like the racing modifications on it and stuff.
And it was still shit.
Yeah, of course, but it was fun.
One of the things that got me about those Vitzes, right, is like, do you remember how slow the revs built on those things? I'm like,
Yes.
is that real to life? Do they really take that long to get to red line? It's like, what the fuck? Even in neutral.
Get in a Vitz.
Yeah. Anyway.
I think Shane was asking about what other games everyone was playing on mobile, but I didn't really follow that thread.
So we got Steve Thorne saying Grid was shit house. You got Brent saying Forza is always better than GT. Steve also saying Forza physics worked with the controller. And then Grant going Forza 4 was good and you just need to set it up properly.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah.
I think generally Assetto at the moment seems to be the one everyone's playing.
Yeah, but does it actually feel real?
Shit, yeah.
Okay. So you feel it's real?
No.
Yes, 100%. Well,
Okay.
you got to drive the right cars. So at the moment, I'm in. Obviously, you don't know this, but for anybody else who plays Assetto will know this. The DTP S13 missile Streeter thing. I think it's Streeter's meant to be mimicked off Streeter's S13.
I like how the
feels...
taco doesn't work.
Oh, it's got a monster taco. It works. And it's pretty good. Like it's not too bad. But there's like the standard cars are pretty rubbish. Like they don't feel anything like, in my opinion. But yeah, but then you got like I'm driving Archie at the moment, and that feels a lot like the track to me. Like I guess at the moment I can't really tell the difference too much. And before I was driving Port Macquarie, which I've never actually driven at, so I'm interested to see how that feels when I actually go and drive there. I think Jake's driven there, and he said it's sort of close. It's pretty good.
So has that all been sorted? Like they're still running fine out at Port. They haven't got any more issues with council and regulations and all that sort of stuff.
Well, they've just locked in that year membership. Have you talked about that? That 500 and
Yeah,
how much
we
was it?
did.
Oh, you did.
Yeah, it was a couple of episodes ago. We had a chat about that because I think there's a bit of confusion because just looking from all the comments from it initially, but it's there's a list of events that they're going to hold, and depending on how much memberships get sold, they actually might increase the events. So, but yeah, we did have a discussion about it.
Okay, well we won't travel back there, but I mean I think it's pretty sorted if they're sort of offering stuff like
Membership. Yeah, well I think I think we did say that the idea with the membership was to fund
fix the track.
Yeah, to make it so we can actually go there regularly.
Yeah, okay. Matt Harvey is actually almost about to start up his King of Europe Drift event that he got sent over for. He's over in, where is it? In Greece?
What, right now?
Yeah, he's over there at the moment. I think he took a holiday. And
yeah, he
he's
did.
been traveling around, yeah.
I think Luke said it was Greece, but then it could be. I think I looked it up the other day just to see when it was on. Oh no, I'm not going to be able to search anything while I'm streaming.
Yeah, it's in Greece.
Oh, yeah. Typical Jake. Jake, if you can hear me, you're a dickhead.
Jake can hear you. He's been commenting.
Yeah.
Good. He's a dickhead.
Okay.
But that should be interesting. So they put him into what? Is that going to be his car? RX-7 convertible, like an FC.
What, rotor?
Not sure.
2J.
But
2J.
Tunter's Garage. Hang on, let me see if I can find any info on it. You guys keep chatting away. I'll see what I can find. Tunter's Garage. Don't. Just go quiet. That's fine.
Yeah. That's alright.
RB25.
Oh, really? That's interesting. I don't think I would have gone with that for a conversion if it's going to be like a non-rotor. Even though I do have RB25s, I don't. Yeah. If you're going to go to that effort of putting an odd engine in, probably would have put in a 2J or 1J.
Oh, Connor. Yeah, 25 is an interesting choice. But them FCs, have you guys driven one?
No,
FC.
Yeah.
No. I haven't driven an FD
I drove a stock one a long time ago, and it was pretty hard to drive. Like, it was real snappy in like a weird way.
Is that because of the old style suspension set up in the rear?
Well, I don't know. I
IRS?
didn't really look at it.
Well, because they run like a. Oh, how do you describe it? So. No, I don't know how to describe it. Well,
Yeah,
they
okay.
squat a lot. They put on lots of incredible amounts
dynamic
of camber. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, okay, yep. So they're like a Commodore system.
So what? You go from lots of grip to no grip as it squats.
I
that what you
believe
mean?
so. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, it just was weird to drive. It wasn't like, it could have just been that car. I don't know, but if it feels like that with an RB25 in it, well, could be interesting to drive.
Well, I mean, I'm watching a video of it do a toge run at the moment, and it looks sorted, but toge runs aren't. They're really a good, I guess, competition.
Is that
Taxi,
toge as in
yeah.
street toge, or is it toge as in...
Yeah, street toge. I'll
Oh,
send it
okay.
to you if you want.
I'm not going to be able to watch it. My internet's way too slow.
But I don't know. It'd be interesting to see how he drives in it. Like, he seems like this. Like, after seeing some of the stuff he was doing down in Tasmania, jumping into a bunch of different cars. Well, how many cars do you have down in Tasmania? 3 or 4?
I can't remember.
Why?
I know he was in his sister's
His cars
car.
kept breaking on him. Yeah.
Oh.
Who else? Who else's car did he get into?
There was one other car. I can't remember though.
Oh.
But yeah, he joins the group of DCA drivers that got to go to Europe and compete.
Oh, yeah, okay. Yep.
That's
So
his
that's
second
car.
trip too. Maybe Blake drove more instead of just building his car.
Oh, look, this is the first time I've actually spent time building a car. Ever. S14 was a piece of shit.
Then he had another S15. Oh, is this the same S15?
No, it's the same one.
Okay.
Same one, yeah.
Yeah,
It's
me,
just-
me and sorry, yeah.
It's just I didn't exactly build it very well the first time. So all the stuff I've found when I pulled it back apart, like I didn't actually do the suspension up in the back, like on the top. So it was just sort of flapping around and yeah, just a heap of stuff. So
It's a long way from your old Sora that you used to drive. Anyway,
oh yeah, I love that Sora. It was a good car.
I think that was one of the first times I actually met you was when I was judging and you drove that in one of the competitions.
Yeah.
And the biggest problem you had with that is that the freaking thing had no lock and
Yes.
wasn't real snappy on the transitions.
Yeah, it was very boatish, and
I thought it was
ultimately
really
the
good.
reason. Yeah, the reason I got rid of it in the end was the inability to buy parts for it. It was just I did actually get a set of knuckles and lower control arms made up, but everything about it was just hard.
Oh.
That was interesting. But yeah, I don't know. Like cars are weird. Like I've almost finished my S15, I guess, and I bought a 180 that was completely stock, and now all I want to do is drive my 180. Like I don't even care about the S15 at the moment. I do, but like I just really want to drive my 180. That's all I want to do.
How are you finding the eBay coilovers?
Awesome, actually, they're really good. So
have you tested them out?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Is that what does Greg call it? You gone street vamp inspecting? Is that what it's called?
Yeah. Yep.
Yeah.
Light pole inspection or some
street
shit.
light inspecting.
That's the one.
Right.
So they're on eBay. They're called like Maxing Rod or something like that.
Max feeding rod.
Yeah, that's it. Yep.
Yeah.
So the best customer service I've ever had from a parts manufacturer ever. So I purchased them on Monday off eBay. After I purchased them, he sent me about an hour or so after, he sent me a message saying, "Thank you for the purchase, blah, blah, blah." Like, I was like, oh, sweet. And then the next morning, he gave me a tracking number, and then it had arrived on Wednesday lunchtime. And it cost me $305 with free postage. So, yeah, it was awesome. 30-point damper adjustable. I got purple because I thought, I don't really know why I got purple, but
there's a lot of different colours available.
Yeah, there is, and I picked purple.
Yeah.
What does that mean?
Well, the old thing used to be sexually frustrated, but I don't know these days.
Go with that. So okay, so my review, I'll do like a little road review then. So the coilovers felt okay.
Oh,
they looked
did you
a bit,
grease the tops?
Nope, I didn't.
Okay.
Well, yeah, me. But so I've done 5,000 Ks on them now.
Oh shit!
So I've given them a fair go, and I drive them to and from work every day over real shitty roads. So like they're getting smashed around. With the dampers all the way up, they are like really stiff. But when they turn them all the way down, they're too soft. So you can actually the dampers actually do something. They're not just whatever. But yeah, I would highly recommend them. Actually, at $305, I'm thinking about buying a second set for when these on spoke. So,
how long do you think they'll last?
Oh, who knows? Well, I mean, I guess if you grease the front, probably longer because at the moment the front's already creaking a little bit. So
yeah,
I'll probably pull that out and grease it. But I mean, they feel okay. Like they feel sturdy when I was putting them in. Like they felt like coilovers, I guess. But basically no money.
Yeah, so I bought some as well, but I put them into a mate's car. I drove him out of Motorcana, but I never really knew the car beforehand, so
yeah.
I couldn't actually tell if they were better. Well, they were better because the coilovers were in there before were completely blown out, so they felt so much nicer, but I didn't know what normal ones felt like, so I couldn't really compare.
Yeah.
Yeah, so it's interesting to see what the opinion was, because if I was to use that as a review, yeah, of course they're good. But then every time someone puts a new part into their replaces their old worn out part, it's going to feel better. So they're always going to say, yeah, it's so much better than blah blah blah, because it is in better condition.
Look, as far as I guess, so I'd never driven the car. So I bought it. It was unregistered. I put these in pretty much straight away. So I can't really say, oh, they're better than what they were. I can just really compare them to the other cars I drive, I guess. Which, fortunately enough, at Rally, I seem to be able to drive a lot of people's cars, which is good. And I honestly would say that they just feel like coilovers, like it's not like you go, oh, nah, these are okay, but they're doing the job. Like they just, honestly, if I drove it and somebody said, yeah, HSDs are in it, or even, I don't know, Cusco's or Shockworks or whatever, I'd probably be like, oh, yeah, whatever. Like, yep. Like, I wouldn't, yeah.
Okay. The other thing, I bought cheap coilovers before, what they're called, G4s from
Oh, yep.
Just Jar. I think when they used to sell them 10 years ago. I think. Is that right? They were the cheap
Yep.
ones. And
Yeah,
they
they
felt
were
good.
like light blue or something, right?
Yeah. They felt good when I put
Yeah.
them in. 6 months, they started leaking.
Yeah, yep.
Yeah.
Well,
so-
look, as I said, I've done 5,000 Ks on them. Or, yeah, probably 4,000, I guess, actually, if I think about it. So give it another month, and I'll do
I
another
think 5,000 K is
4,000.
good. Yeah.
Yeah, and we'll see how they are. Because, I mean, 10,000 Ks, like, if they're not leaking in 10,000 Ks, for most people, that's probably going to be good for
That's good
305
value.
or 305.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And you can get them cheaper too. If you get a good special.
Yeah. Yeah, well, you paid, what, 260 or something, didn't you?
Yes, 260.
Yeah.
Yeah, there was 65 each. That was the selling point.
yeah. That's like, I mean, how much, like, because that would include postage as well, right?
Yeah, postage to Canberra.
So you got to ask, like, how much is it costing these guys to make this? And yeah, like it's interesting because like HSDs, like you look at HSDs, you can tell they're better, but I don't know how much better. And they're what, like $1,200, and even that's cheap-ish.
Yeah, it is cheap when you compare it to some of the premium brands.
See, a mate of mine just bought, what brand are they? Like BZRs or BRZs or
Oh, just
They're
BC Racing? Is that what you mean?
no. There's
No.
some European brand, like like in a lot, like in competition with Olin's or I don't know. Anyway, he bought a set of coilovers for his Super, and he paid $9,000 for the coilovers, and they weren't even base adjust. But anyway, see, I just can't justify that. I just don't understand why anyone would do that. To be perfectly honest, like. You could have had 2 180s for that much money, or 3 180s if you're EG.
I don't know. I think I've actually spoke to EG about this before. Have I talked to you about this, Blake, about a disposable race car? Not even just a drift car, but a disposable race car.
Sorry, Andy. Disposable in what way?
Well, my thoughts was to get, they're becoming more and more popular now, but is to get something like an AU Falcon to the point where you just get a bog standard one, but you get all the parts like the seat, suspension, things like that, right? So if you end up binning it, or for whatever reason you don't need to store it, or like don't need the car anymore, you can take all the parts out of it, hold on to them till you need to go drifting again, and you just buy another shell, put all those parts into it. Or if you crash it and you want to keep going, you just go buy another, or pick up a shell off the side of the road and shove everything over and then keep going. As a sort of thing is like as a practice car, like you could just set something up like that pretty cheaply. I reckon for under $5,000 you could have a fully set up AU with knuckles, suspension, and handbrake and seats and everything.
Oh, easy. Yeah, and like I think, well, you look at Stanko for example, what he's doing. I mean, that's effectively what he's doing. And
yeah, exactly.
I think it does make a lot of sense, especially with the stupid prices Japanese cars are these days.
Yeah.
Yeah, okay. And do we really want to go into that conversation?
No,
you can.
because
Go get yourself a K70
We're
for
not-
that's been
$8,000.
days. That's no. This is like we're close to the 2.5 hour mark, and my internet I've got to ration it out to the next 3 shows, so we'll probably have to wrap it up pretty soon.
EG, you know what? This is
What?
ridiculous. I can't remember who I was talking with. I was talking to somebody.
Yes, Blake.
Should I say this? Maybe I shouldn't say the story.
I don't know. I don't know what you're gonna say.
Well, I'm sort of committed now.
Okay.
I was talking to somebody, and we were talking about driver skill v the amount of money people have to spend on stuff or willing to spend on stuff.
I heard this somewhere.
And Red Stage came up. I could have told you. I think Red Stage came up, and I can't remember who I was talking to, but somebody. Anyway, whatever. And it was about. I personally think the red stage skill in general is fairly high, but the money
Just ask
outlay
me.
that you spend is very low.
Yeah.
And so people can misconstrue driver skill for the amount of money they spend on a car. You know, that sort of thing. Anyway, and then I can't remember who it was, but somebody commented about the clutch kick in saying, yeah, well, I heard that EG has to ration out his friggin' internet because he's too poor to afford data or some shit. And I was like, yeah, well, you know, like you sit there and you say about rationing internet, it just made me think of that. And I was like, oh, that's pretty funny.
It's not. I can't really do anything about. I couldn't pay more to get better internet here. It's just shit because of where I am. I mean, that's of not new, not really old place. And if it's old, then they were going to replace it first. If it's new, then it already have all the high-speed internet, and I'm just not in that sort of sweet zone.
Well, the biggest problem with Canberra, right, is that they friggin' sunk all the cabling because they wanted it to be a pretty city. So if any of these sort of upgrades, it's a pain in the ass. They got to dig everything up and then sink everything again.
Yeah,
that's fine.
That makes sense.
Yeah,
well,
at least it's pretty.
That's one of the reasons.
At least it's pretty. Yeah, well, you know.
He says his internet sucks ass.
But it also is kind of safer as well because you don't have all the poles sitting out the front of the houses or anything.
Oh yeah, they can't blow down and all that sort of rubbish. Yeah, fair enough, but it means you get shitty internet. What would you prefer?
Me?
Yeah.
At the moment, I'd want better internet. But no, the phone lines are actually in between the houses. They're not buried, all of it. They're only buried at the ends of the street. So during going through in between houses, they're actually poles. But they're not even, because of the new plan, they're not even upgrading that. They're only upgrading up to the node. So that's the buried part. Supposedly they're beginning work on our section this month. But when I say our section, it's like Tuggeranong,
So does the clutch kick get any more lovely fan mail, or is that sort of blown over now?
Lovely fan mail? No, it was only Greg.
Oh, I was just curious. I still think that meme's hilarious, but yeah.
Oh, I still have it here, actually. Yeah, I've got it here. I can post it back up on the thing. It's still available. Man, that's so stupid. I thought it was funny when they were all, hang on, bring it back up. So I thought it was funny when they were all keen on TV and how good TV is for promotion, but they don't even know about Luke Fink's Holford car. They don't even know about, what was the other guy? Yeah, there's so much I just didn't know about, even though they've been on TV.
You know, it's a shame because I think there was a lot of misunderstandings that happened in that whole scenario, and I think I do, I really do.
No,
and I think people
got one person who just thinks it's
I'm talking about
against them.
I'm talking about I'm talking about a couple, but like I think there was, in some cases there was misunderstanding, and there was perceptions on certain things, and people got emotional, and it was a shame that it was never resolved. To be perfectly honest, I feel having a pretty full on, or pretty upfront conversation where you take all the emotions out of it, maybe, or just work it out. And I think
you can't sort of level up intelligence.
Hey, we got a viewer question, guys. So, what is the ratio of money spent on car versus skill? Can an average driver do really well with enough money?
Depends on what comp. So,
There's so many
Oh,
different aspects to
oh.
that. Like, what's an average driver? I don't know. Like, I mean,
Oh, I think that was a stab at something.
oh no, well, no, not necessarily because okay,
No,
I'm going to
let's
clarify that
backpedaling,
a little bit.
backpedal.
No, I'm not going to backpedal because I stand by my statement. I stand by it. But I think if okay, you take the red 31. That what's his name?
Nick Gorman, yeah.
Was it Cash Kings?
Yeah.
Whatever. Who cares? That red 31 car. You enter that into high-tech Winton, for example.
Yeah.
You're not going to win.
No.
Are you? The
No.
comp is not designed to handle that. The same as D1NZ. Like when I talked about D1NZ about lifting that car quality and actually sort of creating a track where it sort of rewarded the good cars. I think those sort of comps, you need a bit of money. You need a little bit of cash behind you to actually do well. To even just buy the tires, like Christ, like semis by themselves wear out in a lap, and then
yeah, I can understand that. It makes sense, but how in the comps need to be set up so everyone that's capable can contribute, rather than setting up an epic comp and then having people not having the wrong people there, if that makes sense. So
okay, I know what you're saying, and what I think. Okay, so what I think needs to happen out of that, and I'm sure I'm echoing a lot of people when I say this, is that I think competitions need to all sort of work together, and you set up tiers and you set up feeder series that feed in, and you can't go to the top class or the top tier without battling your way through the feeder series, for example. And that feeder series is set up so that anybody can win. So it's purely talent based, purely driver skill. And so the people who drive well in that then they can get sponsors and they can get notoriety and all that sort of stuff whilst still having the level playing field. And then they're the people that can then use that platform as a platform to move on to the top tier. Whereas,
that's the way it should be. I think that's ideal.
Yes. And I think the problem is at the moment is that while as anybody can enter the top tier and they don't have to qualify for a level playing system, then that's where you're going to have all the issues we have at the moment.
Yeah. But anyway,
let me throw something at you. So let's get Greg, and we'll chuck him. We'll chuck Greg into like a fully pro setup. Say the high-tech 350Z. Is that a good example?
We're putting Greg in that.
Yeah, just as an example.
Don't forget about this question, by the way.
Sorry?
Don't forget about this question, by the way.
That is the question.
Okay, he's gone. Okay. So we're putting Greg in the high-tech car. What are we doing that for?
Yeah,
what are we doing?
Yeah.
Can an average driver do really well with enough money?
Oh, is that the question?
That's the question.
So, are you talking about Greg being the average driver?
God, that was
I don't know,
Greg.
You've seen the in-car video. I'm sorry, Greg, when you listen to this, but you're getting there. But you.
All right. Anyway, we won't dwell on Steve digging himself a deeper hole. Okay. So if we put Greg in a high-tech car, can he do well?
It all comes down to wheel time again. I reckon he'd do well if he could practice in it.
No, but
yeah.
I think the idea is that the skill is set and the money is huge. So you can't practice in the car. You just have to go out in the car that's given to you. So if what's given to you is a $1 million drift car, then would you do well? And at what point does that change from not doing well to being shit because your skill isn't high enough?
Well, okay. So I think Carl Thompson, not that I know him that well, but I have a feeling he may have been fortunate enough to always have a bit of money behind him to be able to drive good cars and therefore be able to afford tires and all that sort of stuff and then compete at a higher level. And I don't think he came from a no money, high skill point. I think he came from a high money, let's say, starting out level. And I think he's progressing because of those opportunities through to a higher skill point, I guess. Like last time I sort of watched him drive at Fukukoe, I guess last time I saw him, he drove pretty well, but he sort of surprised other people too. It's like, oh, like Carl's driving really, really good and stuff like that. So he's still developing, obviously, but I guess he's come from that, let's call it average driver, decent car, and with seat time and I guess it's the seat time component, he has actually gotten pretty good, I guess, if that answers that question.
I know, it's a funny question. You can also come from the other side. I mean, you got drivers
good question.
You got drivers like Luke Fink that can jump in any car. Like, I mean, he jumped in.
But he's high skill.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying this is the inverse. Like, you can put a high school driver into an average car and it'll be competitive. Like, what's his 350 is bog standard, and he was pretty much keeping up with every single pro driver at the track.
Yeah. Well, I think it comes down to, I think Nick, E.G., I think you were telling me about it. I think it was Nick about natural talent or something. That nobody without natural talent should try because they're just going to get beaten by somebody with natural talent anyway.
That was an article that was shared to us by Rob. So
that's an interesting point of view.
Yeah, well, no, because I mean, I get the logic behind it. I think if trying to say it quickly, it's like, we'll just do drifting. So you've got someone who has to practice all the time, and then sort of get enough experience so then they do really well, as opposed to someone who's naturally talented, and they both become the same level when one's naturally talented, one practices every day for a year. And then if this other person actually was naturally talented, practiced every day for a year, he's going to be better, isn't he?
Well, you know who I think's a good example of that? And, like, I'm probably throwing myself under the bus again, but Brad Toohey.
Yes.
Like,
in what way?
Like, I wouldn't call him a naturally skilled driver. He's a practiced driver. You know what I'm saying?
I agree with that. Yep.
Like, his consistency and everything he's doing at the moment is coming down to just outright practice and the technicality that we were talking about before. Like, he gets down to the nitty gritty and finds out what he needs to do rather than just going out and relying on talent.
But okay, so I think there's a couple of things here. But if you look at people who are naturally talented, usually they're naturally talented at a fair few things. Like if they're a good drifter, they're probably a good in a motorbike, good in a skateboard, or like they're good at stuff generally. And those type of people growing up in that environment who can get easy satisfaction when they actually do activities, they get this like personality type where they don't really have to try to be good at stuff. And so they don't really work hard on things, and that becomes sort of their sort of habit. Yeah, they do get lazy. And you look at people like, I think Sean Gilbert's a perfect example of that.
Steve.
What are you talking about?
Steve.
Yeah, Steve fits in that category as well. But then you look at people who aren't, let's say, as naturally talented, and I think Brad Toohey is probably a good example the way you described it, Steve. And I think Ben Meir falls under that same category. But because of that, they're determined, and so they work really hard at it, and they 100%. Practice a lot. And I think that gives them the edge that the naturally talented people don't have, and it sort of makes it a balancing act, I guess, in some ways. But
that's because they're lazy. Yeah, if you get the naturally talented plus the ones that like work hard, then they're the top of the top. Well, they should be.
Yeah,
anyway.
Agreed. And they're the rare exceptions that who work hard and are really good, and they're the ones that you're right. But they're pretty rare.
Yeah, but that's the idea is you'll never be as good as them. But that's if that case turns up, where it could not happen at all.
Yeah, exactly. And like you look at Brad, like say what you want, but he gets a lot of results. He's got a lot of sponsors. He does drive well. There's no arguing there. and that's hard work, and he's done.
He's definitely put in the hard yards for it.
He has, and
Yeah. Like, definitely not taking anything away from him as a driver. So
no, and but I guess that's where somebody, from that question could end up if their personality type is that way. If you're not naturally talented and you're lazy, well, you're pretty fucked, aren't you? Like,
so I mean, I guess the short answer
really
is
getting anywhere.
An average driver could do really well with enough money.
I think, yeah. At what point? I don't think it costs that much. I think, you're right. It is dependent on the competition, but at the moment, you just need a bit more than.
Hang on, just as a quick one.
Yeah.
I just talked up Red Stage before, and now, I'm going to take it back, because Connor and
Yeah, but that's them. I don't even talk about it, because if you acknowledge it,
Connor and Jake are.
You screwed it.
Yeah.
Anyway, so I keep going.
You're giving them the recognitions.
Yeah.
I've done it.
Yeah.
Recognize their shit behavior, and now I'm screwed. Lesson learned. Yep.
So now they're laughing like, he got affected.
Well, it's been going, like, they've been persistent, because it's been going for like the last.
Jake's been at it longer. Oh, Jake's been doing it a lot longer.
Yeah, but he just sucks. He can't catch me. Anyway, what were you saying?
So the original asker of that question is just going to look great answers. I've done a couple of comps at Archie, and I feel like I need to drop a lot of money on the car to get up there. I'll look for more practice at tandem. 100%. Practice
is good, but
battle car is the answer in my opinion.
My answer is practice, wheel time. Nothing.
Yeah, but
same.
Yeah, but his thing is he feels like he needs to drop a lot more money on the car to get up there.
The winner was in a car that was worth nothing almost.
Yeah, I mean, you look at people like Ullman and Stankowski, and they're not big dollar cars.
No, and I think you actually need to sell whatever car. I don't know, but buy a piece of crap. Oh no, but then you can't enter. Yeah, never mind. Bad advice.
No, I think
he's talking about Archie though. So Archie's not. It depends on what sort of cops you want to do. I don't know.
I am a firm believer that, like every other sport in the world, practice is key. And I think especially with drifting, where people start to spend so much money on something that then they're afraid of damaging it because they don't really have the money to fix it, or they don't have the money to build another one, that all of a sudden it's like a catch-22. They have a better car, but they're more afraid to use it. And like when you first start chasing people and you start getting close and you're just like, oh, I'm so close, like this is so risky or whatever, and then you have a look at a photo and you could literally fit another car in between you. And then you're so demoralized, you're just like, oh God. And like, I think a lot of people, why they get better when they go to Japan, and this might be an obvious statement, but it's because they're driving cars they don't care about. And so that's when they actually hit, or they rub, or whatever you want to call it. And they're like, oh,
so that's how
that's
hard to push.
Yeah. And then they get their eye in, and then that's the beginning of the rest. But I mean, my argument is, especially with the prices of Japan lately and all that other stuff, is that especially with places like Archie, and I guess to a lesser degree, JDMX Park, although it's a long way away from Adelaide, but that's the places where you take these, like you can do Japan in Australia. You can take a piece of crap and get your eye in and practice and all that sort of stuff. And I feel that's best bang for buck. Like that's where you'll get the most improvement over, like instead of spending $3,000, let's say, on a better set of coilovers or a turbo kit or something, I think you're going to get, especially at Archie, I think you're going to get much better results if you spend $3,000 on a busted that 350Z that came up the other day. What was that? That was like $4,000 or something, right?
Yeah.
Like that'd be pretty much perfect. I think you're going to get a lot more benefit out of doing that than putting money into a good car
I think
at that level.
if in practice, I think it's $3.5 still too expensive. You can do so much stuff with
Oh,
$3.5 on a.
This is where we come back to my AU idea, my disposable drift car.
Yeah, but that's $5
Yeah.
grand. I think
At the most. At the most.
You gotta talk about, like, I mean, this comes back to red stage being all cheap asses, but you gotta think about what people are spending instead. Like, you know, let's say this, I don't know what sort of car this guy's got, but if he has, let's say, a 33 with basic mods, or he's got a I don't know, well, probably a 33 with basic mods, whatever. Like the next big steps, like a bigger turbo, and then you need injectors, and then you're going to need power C or like a computer or something like that. And if you add that up, that's when you're getting up, or a gearbox or a diff or whatever, you know, that's when you're getting up around that 3-4 grand. And that's why I use that number, because for the type of mods these people are sort of talking about, that's the amount of money people are spending. And that's what I say to Ben. Like, Ben spends a lot of money on doing different things, where I think instead of that, or even instead of buying 10 sets of semis, let's say, then you could buy a practice car for that instead. And you could buy 2 sets of radials and get heaps more practice out of it. But anyway.
I do like the tyre rules that come in. Like, they do keep things a lot more competitive, I think.
Look, I like the tyre rules as well, but you know what? I guess this comes back to what we were talking about before, and I guess this is why I'm actually genuinely excited about this time attack this year, is you take DCA, for example. I want to see those drivers driving the way they do on semis in big power on a big track. Like,
yeah,
you know,
I get that.
I want to see that, and you never see that with a tyre rule, which sort of sucks. Like, and that's why I think the way the comps are in general, not all working together for all reasons we know. You know,
I don't think Australia's got a high enough standard of cars to run big track and semis. As much as that's not going to be a popular opinion, I just don't think we have the skill.
Oh, yeah. I would argue that
the skill.
I don't know.
I don't think there's enough. Yeah, I don't think there's enough skill, like the pool of available
there
drivers.
Are some drivers that can do it, but there aren't enough of them.
Yeah, so there needs to be like a pool of it. So like it needs to be. It's not just 32. You're talking about. You need like 100 or something that could potentially do it. And there isn't that 100 at that level.
But see, I don't blame the drivers, and I don't blame the cars. I blame the structure, which
at the moment. But that's because they can't work together.
Yeah, and you know what? Like, I could say a lot of stuff, but ultimately, you look at the people running these comps. You look at the Finks, for example, or, I mean, say what you want about George, but they are providing comps for us to do that I wouldn't do, for example.
They're catering
and so
to
you have
market.
to be,
is a different thing too, though.
Well, but you have to be appreciative of the effort that these guys are putting in. You know, like, and I think that's something that sometimes people forget.
Looking on the good side, like you look at some of the other things, some other people associated with associated with you. I'm not saying the event organizers, but like just specifically, but maybe they're involved in some way. They could be a stakeholder of some sort, and then that's the sort of thing that makes it difficult for everyone. So, like, if it seems like sometimes if the ship's going down, then instead of trying to save everyone, they're just like, no, everyone's coming down with me, kind of thing.
Yeah, that sucks. That does suck. And I mean, I guess, yeah, and I guess that's why it's not all working together, maybe. I mean, I don't know. I guess I've just gone through a phase recently where, I mean, I like going and competing. I like going to tracks. I like going to events. And I've just been sort of looking lately and going, shit, if this person didn't put this on, like if he didn't go out of their way, And I mean, yeah, they might earn a bit of money off it, but like, shit, you need motivation, right? But if they
Oh,
didn't
yeah.
go out of their
Business-
way to do
business,
this, we would be screwed. Like, where would we drive? You know, and I guess that's something that I think people every now and then. I mean, I know I had something like you take it for granted. You're just like, oh, yeah, there's an event, whatever. Oh, that was a shit event. Like, you didn't run that very well, whatever. But then when you actually look at the bigger picture, it's like, well, shit. If he didn't go out of his way to do that and didn't drive that whole day because he was running your event, we'd all be fucked. You know, and I think the Revo guys do an amazing job, and like they don't do that much driving at their events. I get like, well, I could be wrong there, but I don't think so.
No,
and
a
you
lot
know,
of
and
the
you got to be.
yeah, a lot of the guys around here that organise the events here, they don't drive very much, even though it's their event.
Yeah,
they do drive.
Well-
like, yeah, but
I'm sure they want to drive, and I guess that's something that we need to be thankful for. Like Revo run an awesome day, so nobody really bags them out. But like we've got to be thankful that they are giving up their time, their drive time, so that we can drive. And I think that's
yeah.
I don't know. I've just
Well,
been thinking about that recently, and I'm just like,
I
yeah,
think
that's awesome.
that's what they're like at the moment, or as in like the people that are involved, as in other people besides the Revolution team. Because
Yeah.
the other thing is like you look at in regards to IDA, so they ran days before, and there was sort of the same thing. There were a bunch of friends that got together, they started running the days. Then they started turning up without driving at all, and they just sort of ran the days for the club. And then after a while, it was gained as much popularity as the Revolution days, and then they started getting accused that they're spending the money that was gathered in whatever the entry fees on their own cars rather than putting it back towards the club. So
Okay.
yeah, it's just I think it just sort of there's like it goes through phases, and I think there's been that sort of accusations with other drift clubs as well, where they're appreciative, then they suddenly turn on them. Yeah, it's
so
difficult.
a club's not meant to make a profit; they're meant to be non-profit. Is that right?
No, I don't think it's that. It's not making a profit, but I think they can make a profit, but the accusation was that the person was taking the money from the club and spending it on their own personal car. Because, that's what they said about things in Victoria as well, that the money was being spent on someone's car. But I don't know, I have no idea, but that's the sort of thing that the rumors have been
I don't know. I mean, if you run an event and you manage to come out on top of it, why should that be held against you? Anyway.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah.
Like, he's like they've gone through the pain. I don't want to run an event because I'd much prefer to not have all the stress and have to put money up front and organise the event and all that other stuff. Like, I don't want to run an event. I just want to drive at it. Give them my money and drive at it. If they're not driving at their own event, but they end up with a little bit of cash, I don't see the problem. Like, if they're like, I think that's just being a bit like anybody who goes, oh, they're making a killing out of running this. It's like, so, like, good on them. And I'm having a great time driving at it. Like, what's your point? Like.
You get angry at Bill Gates for making money off Microsoft. Right?
Well,
I think
way,
maybe it is that the drift clubs are meant to be non-profit organisations, but still like they're sort of saying that the clubs are putting the monies back into the events, but I'm pretty sure they are putting it back into events because they're doing things.
Look, if the events keep happening, who cares? Like, why are you micromanaging this?
Well, as long as if people are still going, it's obviously not an unreasonable amount of money.
Yeah.
If it was, they wouldn't be making said profit.
Well, that's what I was going to say. They're not that bloody, that pharmaceutical company that bought all the other pharmaceutical companies and then jacked the prices up. They're not exactly.
I heard about that.
Yeah.
So.
So like, I just don't understand what. Yeah, I don't get that.
I think it's it's the same mentality as being first.
Currently, it's the different. It comes back to what I said: the two different scenes or two different categories, sort of thinking that one's better than the other. Whereas they're just different. That's what
Just as a quick one before we go off that other topic, I don't know. You know, I'm going to take Archie as a perfect example, right? At the moment, in my opinion, I think the Finks are doing a fantastic job at Archie with the events they're holding there, with the track works they're doing there, like the Thursday night stuff, running it like a drift event sort of should, I guess, from a drifter's perspective. Now, I think they must be doing that as a job, I guess, that track now. I'm not 100% sure.
Yeah,
but
the track is their income.
I don't want them to get to a stage, for example, where they're like, oh, we would earn more money with heaps less stress just going and getting a normal job. And then going and getting a normal job. Because that means that all the good stuff they're doing for the drift community will stop.
All they could do is just run go-karts and motorbikes, like every other track.
Yeah, because it's easier and there's less stress.
100%.
But so people who go, oh, well, like they're making money off it or whatever, it's like, yeah, and I have no problem with that, as long as they keep doing what they're doing. Like, fuck, like.
Yeah, you go to work and do what you're doing for free and see if you like it.
And you see way too many people go back to these normal jobs because they can earn more money with less stress and all that other sort of crap. And, you know, I think people lose scope of that. Like, fuck, stop complaining. Like, you've got a sick setup that might not last forever. So stop being a whiny little bitch. I don't know.
Sounds like a good note to finish up on.
No, it's not a good note. I was just thinking that. I was like, you can't finish on that. Maybe it is. I don't know.
I think that's it. I think you finished it for us.
Yeah. I'm just worried about my data, that's all. And I've still got to... I'm playing... Are you guys going to all-time attack?
Yeah.
Well, what are you doing for Common 8? Oh, what, this is not the time.
It's alright, it's only EG's data, it's fine.
Yeah, well, we started this whole thing talking about What Time Attack, so yes, we better all be going to What Time Attack.
Yeah. I'm working on Friday night, unfortunately, which is a bit shitty. Hopefully they got a live stream going, I can watch it at work.
I'm planning to have a live stream going.
Yeah.
With some
commentary. Nice. The standard one, you can tell them they're shit and too slow.
I don't know. I have no idea. I think I need to do more of it just to get used to it. I don't talk enough. I've been doing my own commentary videos of myself, and it's quite boring. But anyway.
Yeah. I'll be out there on Saturday too.
Okay. I guess it depends who you sit with. You can like.
It helps if you have someone to bounce off. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, the idea was Greg, because Greg's kind of. The best thing with Greg is you can argue with him.
Yes.
Yeah.
You need the banter.
Yeah. It makes it more interesting. Because if everyone's in agreement on things, then it's I think it's boring for people to watch.
I think he does represent a demographic as well, which, I mean, I think if you always have the exact same type of people, then it goes too smooth and then gets too boring. Like, you need that.
It's like on radio, always one host takes one side and the other host takes the other. Pretty much.
Exactly.
Not always, but most of the
time.
How
Probert's gonna annihilate all.
Well, you look at even Fox News, which is highly Republican. They still have a Democrat there just so they can argue with them.
Back with politics again.
Well, it's applicable.
Nah, no one gives a shit about that.
Oh, that's entertaining.
Alright, I think we are done. Alright.
Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks for coming on, and we should do this more often.
We should.
Yeah.
Back again with Gerg next week?
I think so. I don't even know when he gets back.
Well, happy birthday to Gerg. You're missing out.
Oh,
yeah. It's his birthday today. Yeah.
We'll just wait for the 2.5 hour mark to let him know.
This is how we know if he's watched it.
If he gets to the end.
I highly doubt he's watched it.
Who normally has
Wait,
this stuff going in the car?
I could actually listen to it tomorrow on the way up.
Yeah.
Where's he
No
going?
excuses. He's going up to Queensland.
I don't know if he's going
No,
straight
Port.
to. He's stopping at Port tonight, and then he's. He said he's getting a tune done tomorrow.
Where?
I'm assuming with Russell.
Oh, okay, cool.
Yeah.
Yeah, he
I'm
doesn't
not
trust
sure.
you, Blake. I know you've been off-road, but he just doesn't want to
I don't want
touch
to touch
his
the car. Probably break anyway.
car.
Then you'll be blamed for it, like Sean's car.
Exactly.
Alright,
Yeah.
I've got to ask, have you guys ever heard of decking a block with a friggin' with the
Oh,
sharpening
stone.
stone?
Yeah.
What the fuck?
A flat
I've never heard
sharpening
of that
stone.
before. I've never heard of someone decking a block.
As long
like
as you
that
do it
before.
diagonally, like, and you don't actually do it the same direction, like you've got to go diagonally across, so that it makes it even.
Even then, yeah,
I don't know.
that's-
Just making it up.
it's so easy just to put a little bit too much weight on one edge of the stroke, and you end up
Yeah,
ramming
well, that's
off
the
an edge.
same with
that,
like
you know?
sanding as well. Like that's why I said you have to use a sanding block because otherwise, if you use your fingers, then wherever your fingers are on the sandpaper, you'll actually create divots wherever you're sanding. And same with the sanding block, you have to do it sort of diagonally as well. Otherwise, you'll sort of sand like a block.
I have never sanded a block down. I've always,
No, I'm just like in general. That's what I'm saying.
Yeah, I've always used those little like little scrubbing things that you put on your drill to clear up a deck. Have you ever seen them?
I think I've used sandpaper before, like really lightly, but that's only
Yeah,
to
well,
take that sort of paper
Exactly.
shit
Yeah, that's
off.
all you need
That's
to do.
it. Yeah.
Well, like, did you just Google it? Like, is it a
I don't know.
thing?
I can't Google it now. My internet's too slow.
Because
What is it? A
I
flat
c-
stone.
Like, I mean, I don't build engines, and I'm not a machinist or anything like that. But I mean, just like it needs to be pretty accurate, right? You know, like
Yeah, 100%. Because now he's.
I mean, you haven't just got a rock effectively
Yeah,
out the
but
back. just
Hung's
smash-
done this, hasn't he? And Hung's a mechanic. So I'm guessing he's done it before.
Well, I guess so.
I know. I've only worked in dealerships, so we have to do things the proper way. But it's,
Like, are they teaching this in TAFE, or is this like a?
Doesn't
is
sound
this
like a
like
tape
a-
thing.
Well,
no, it's nothing. What
I
our
think
guys
it's-
were taught anyway.
Something that's been passed down. Like if you don't have access to a mill, as a mill.
I don't know. One of them things. Lathe.
No, it's not
No,
like
You know, it's a
I
mill.
don't know.
It's a mill, I'm
you
pretty
put
sure.
you put a deck on a mill.
yeah. Then this is the other option. Then because if you've got no other choice, otherwise you just put it back on as is. Which is what
Yeah.
I want
Yeah,
to do, but everyone says don't, so I've left my
Well,
head off for the whole year.
Well, no. What you do is you just never ever open an engine, and then
Well, I mean, the
you have
other thing
these
is
problems.
Well,
make sure that
some people drop things into the engine.
Yeah, I do that
Like hole.
too.
That's not ferrous.
And you just open and close. You don't do anything else. Well, look, that engine's still going. We never reopened it and fixed it. Like it's still good, I think.
if you keep oil in 2GRs, they keep going.
There you go. See?
They're not
there's a couple
rebuildable, are
trends.
they?
It's all Toyota.
Oh, mine's an SR, so I'll take it in
Oh,
hell.
I do love SRs though. T25 life.
Okay, it's
Alright.
like been 3 hours and a bit, I think. So
What's the longest one you've done ever?
I can't remember. It's around 3 hour mark, so this could be it, or it could be close.
Well, I want it to be it now. Like, if you're gonna get,
I don't.
He wants to break the record.
No.
can you just title it Can you just title it the longest clutch kick ever? Can that be the title?
No.
Oh. What are you going to title it then? A little bit of talk about World Time Attack and then a bunch of shit talk about anything.
Episode 35. That's it. I can change it.
Oh.
No, I'm just gonna say, Greg's not home. Gerg's not home.
Is that going to be the title?
Oh, he's not here. All right. What do you want me to set the title as?
I don't know.
What, for the video?
The game that Blake's playing is Assetto Corsa.
Yeah.
So he's just sort of playing around with some other guys on the internet, and they download maps. He also download different cars, and do you actually change them? Or
Yeah.
do you just download them and run them as default?
Yeah, you just download them, but they've all been modified and stuff anyway.
Okay. So Assetto Corsa is available on Steam.
Yep.
It goes on special very occasionally. I've only seen it on special once actually.
So I think
I just found someone who does do decking homes, but what they do, they put the stone on the ground and then rub the block over the top of the stone.
what?
Yeah, I know, right?
How do they pick the what? They just pick the block up, or
Well,
is it
the
on like
block-
a swing?
It's a naked block, so it's got nothing in it. Or
Yeah, but
attached
how
to
heavy
it,
is that?
obviously.
That's still heavy, right?
Depends on what it is. If it's just like a 4A or an SR block, they're probably what 20-30 kilos.
Yeah, but like no, that can't be right. They can't do it like that. Like, what if you
That's
drop
only-
it slightly and then you dent the shit out of it? Like, how does that?
Well, then you got to keep going for longer until you get rid of that.
is there a YouTube video on this, or like I want to watch it in action?
Hang on, I'll see if I can find it. It was just a text up write up thing in a forum. There's no video of it. There you go. Anyway, keep going with what you guys were talking about.
Oh,
Assetto Corsa.
yeah, I'm on a public server. If I'm interested, I guess. But,
So anyone can join you guys.
yeah, I don't know who these guys are.
Oh, hang on. How do you spell it?
ASSETO.
T-O? Is it double T-O?
Yeah, double T.
Yeah.
Assetto Corsa. Corsa.
Okay. We'll call it. I'm going to call it.
Ah,
Because I need to ration my data out. I'll probably have to pay again, which sucks because it's another $40 or something.
That's right.
40 bucks.
$40 for
Like-
5 gig. $35 for
Ah.
5 gig, sorry. But anyway,
Oh, what,
alright.
Because you're using 4G. Alright.
Surely you can do better than that. That's ridiculous.
Yeah, well, the other idea was I was gonna get another SIM card because sometimes some of the new SIMs come with 24 gigs, and just use
Oh, I
that.
saw
That means
that.
I have to every month I'd have to buy a new SIM card.
Nah, I saw a deal the other day. It was like 30 something gig for $10 on a SIM card.
There was a 25, I think it was like Light SIM or something. It's at the post office. It was,
Oh yeah.
yeah. Anyway, there's heaps of those available, but I couldn't be bothered, so. But I have a feeling that I'd forget and do something because I did that last week as well because I forgot to turn off my local connection. That's why it kept switching between two and being really slow. So, alright, anyway, we'll call it.
Alright.
Thanks for coming on. And we should be back on next week. If not, we'll get the other guys in. I don't know what's happening, Greg, but yeah, definitely try and keep it going. We should do this again sometime, but I don't know how.
If we can, we can try and do a live feed from Time Attack as well.
I definitely
Like, I
want
know
to
you-
do it. I don't know
Yeah.
how we're going to do it though, because I think we're going to have issues
We'll
with
figure it out.
mics and how we're going to do visually as well.
Bring your DCA setup. We'll go from there.
No. Nah, pass.
If you just
Actually, no,
use,
that's
like-
a good idea. But if
you
I
just use,
could
like,
drive,
earbuds-
huh?
Or what?
No, if I could drive my car to where we're sitting, then I'll do that.
We'll figure something out. We'll make something work.
But I don't think I could.
Okay.
All right.
Alright,
Anyway,
right, man. I'll catch
Okay.
you later.
so yeah.
See us.